Better than E3. That was a really good press conference.
I'd say it was about on par, because there was a lot of that. Halo Wars was the only announcement that they made, so we can.
Sure. It was the only announcement they made, but we got to see more gameplay debuts, I guess I would say. Like, we saw Scalebound, and that demo was better than anything Xbox showed at E3.
Was that the only thing that was played today? Like
on stage with somebody holding a controller? Yeah.
I wonder who makes that call. I wonder if that's something, if you're coming out and you're like, I'm really nervous about that, or I wonder if that's something the developer would be like, no, this is very important to us that we actually want to demo it, or if that's Microsoft like being like, no.
I wonder that too. Yeah.
Demoing is always better. Yeah, I
wonder
what opinions are.
They definitely showed gameplay on several things, but in terms of holding a controller, that might have been the only one.
So yeah, lots of gameplay updates on a lot of stuff. I was just about to ask Ian, and he's getting up out of his chair. So you got your list, Kyle. What are you excited about?
Before we get to what we're excited about, I got to know what your beef is with Quantum Break recasting the main character.
Do you really not know? I mean, have I not talked about this?
I think it's cool that it was a secret it was, like a little switcheroo.
It was a secret?
Yeah.
Or they literally cast him like 3 months ago.
It couldn't have been 3 months ago because he's like this character model's in the game.
Right, but they could have had like the mocap and literally just slapped his face on.
They could have done that.
I think they could put Kyle Bosman in that game in 2.5 weeks.
I could be Jack Joyce?
You could do it.
You mean I could be Jack Joyce?
And you know what? The way that game development is going, maybe you are at this point. I just remember, Zachary Quinto was a huge fan of Heroes. He was watching the first season. He's like, this show's pretty good. And there's this guy called Skyler that they keep mentioning. I was like, oh, that guy sounds like a badass, or Skyler or whatever. Yeah. He's like, that sounds like a badass, And then get this call from his agent. He's like, oh, it's me. Like, I'm that guy. And it's like that. And that's one of the reasons you never even showed that guy. So you can get away with that, with those guys getting down and writing that script for a set of actors that they know, and then they have this other guy, and it's like, I don't know if this guy has black hair or brown hair, or if he's 6'2" or 4'8". I have no idea. I don't know what nationality he is. I have no idea. And yet I'm writing his character.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
The reason why I'm surprised that you don't that you're surprised that I'm coming from this angle is one thing that consistently disappoints me about game development is when it's like, I don't know this, and you're like, okay, and they're like, be excited, and it's like, I'm not, because you've been working on this game the whole time and you had no idea who he was. Like, you cast him before you show me anything, man. Don't show me gameplay of like some weird dude, some weird placeholder guy. It's weird. It's very strange to me when game developers are like, here's this weird advancement thing, but get real excited about it.
So do you think it wasn't the plan all along eventually to...
Who knows? It doesn't feel like it, though.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like, and this is the next step. Again, another thing about Quantum Break, where it's just kind of like, that thing you're expecting us to do, we're not doing that. Like, it would be E3? No. You thought it was this guy? It's not. You thought it was a TV show? Nah. It's just like... I don't get excited about those kinds of announcements.
You know what's funny about the TV show aspect of it?
I love him, though. I love the actor. Yeah. It looks great, All the final product is not the issue. It's just like, it just is weird, extremely weird. I think that we've seen 2 or 3 full gameplay demos of a guy, that poor guy.
He's gone.
That guy did so much work.
He's out.
I grew attached to that guy.
Yeah.
That guy and it's not like a Mass Effect thing where I knew like, oh, it's a BioWare game. I'll be able to make my own character, even though that's probably like the Shepard that we'll see in all the trailers and even when they release expansions and stuff like that. It's like that guy's gone now. Like,
I'm actually.
And then that's the other thing too is that they, I'm like, what, he is Jack Joyce? Like, yeah, they said in like lower third. Like, you didn't say that. You come out and you're like, the guy you saw before was just a temp guy. Here he is. He's on our development staff. That's what we did. It's just this kind of like, yeah, what? No, he was there the whole time. What? And you're just like, what? No, you clearly are doing this weird thing. Like, we're not doing anything. What are you talking about? What guy? He's been in the whole time. Like, you go to their website and the old trailers now have Iceman in it. You're like, wait a minute, what? It's like the Twilight Zone. It's just weird. It's not transparent to me at all. Like, it's just weird. Yeah. It's icky.
I love it. I love it so much.
I wonder if kind of the same kind of thing's going to happen with like the videos. Like, how we saw like some of those scenes early on when they were first talking about the concept. Like, I wonder if that's the same kind of thing where they shot some temp footage.
Oh, that mother talking to her daughter? You think she's just gone?
Like, I wonder if she's actually in those scenes.
An actress.
She's 18 now.
Yeah, no, I recognize her as well from
the
shows.
adult was an actress.
But
oh yeah.
But I just wonder if, again, like, that was very concept, prototype, test footage, and now that they've got their story and everything locked down, and like, okay, let's shoot all the real lines and get the actors
But
lined
as
up.
much as I make fun of putting concept prototype test footage in the corner of a video, they sure did not. I mean,
Right.
they were like, this is Quantum Break. Like,
Oh, you mean up to this point?
yeah,
I get what you're saying.
no, it's not. Like
What's funny about
surprise, the lead of Final Fantasy 15 will now be played by Paul Rubens.
I'm in.
Go for it.
I'm so in. I'm okay with that.
I hope you didn't like the old guy. Hope you weren't attached to him at all. That poster you bought, might as well tear that down because he's gone.
But they have changed the voice acting. You know what I mean? Like they're flexible.
Right.
They're responding to, and I like things like that. Video games are flexible. You can recast someone without it being a huge deal. I think that's a good thing.
But this doesn't read flexibility. This reads subversiveness. This reads like what? We didn't change anything. Like, yeah, you did. You did a whole new guy. Just like
I think
why is
they
that weird?
wanted
Like,
to do
yeah,
it like
that's
that.
weird. What?
I think they wanted to do it like that, like it's an exciting switcheroo, like an announcement, that it's like a good thing. I think they did this intentionally. They like kept it a secret.
No, of
and
course.
then
Like they were
sweet
stoked about that.
actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was drama about them going back to the drawing board at some point, right? Last year.
You're whispering that, but we can
What
mic
did he
you.
say?
What's up?
Give that couch shot.
All right.
Make
Hi.
it formal.
Hi.
Yeah, Matt Blair, everybody. Matt Blair.
By the way, Matt
so-
Blair doing the hard job of shaking the mouse throughout that entire conference.
There was some other stuff too, Kyle.
Yeah, I know, but
But
Nobody
Quantum
wants to do
Break,
that.
there
Yeah.
was some drama, I think, like late last year, or even as early as or recent as this. I don't need to shake the mic anymore. It's a reflex.
yeah,
The mouse. Now you got me saying it.
yeah. Shake
But
the mouse.
there was something about like rumors of them having to go back to the drawing board or something like that last year.
I didn't see rumors of that. To me, I
Huber
was under the
Huber
impression.
was real worried about it.
Oh, okay.
So
Maybe
I
it was.
believe it.
It was like that. Maybe it was they recast him a year ago. That seems not unrealistic. I'm totally cool with it. Here's what I want to say.
I think they should have just been clear about, like you're saying, like, it should have been him as Jack Joyce. Like if they had just done like that much, like, oh, okay, like we brought him in and
Because
They're
it's like
pretty
a
clear about
double-edged
that.
sword. It's like it means something or doesn't mean something depending on how much you want to enjoy it.
you
know,
thought
it's
it was
like
a different guy at first.
yeah, it's like I was into that guy. It's like, yeah, screw that guy. It's like, okay, but I was into him when you announced it
You
before.
weren't
It's
into
like,
that guy.
yeah, but that guy sucked. You don't like that guy. How about
was
this
just
new
some
guy? It's like, well,
standard
when's
guy.
this guy gonna suck now? Like, why? It's like here's the new thing. Be excited about it. And you're like, well, what about the? It's like,
But I mean,
it's the idea of game marketing or the advancement of excitement about a game being decided by the developer. It's like, now here's what you're excited about. It's like, I'm gonna be excited about what I want to be. And it's like, no, those other things, forget that. Forget that it was called Versus 13. Forget that. Like, I will never forget that. And
But I
it
mean,
boggles
like-
me that you want me to or expect me to or asking me to.
It's just like they had to start developing the game, and they didn't have any of the actors cast.
they're not explaining
you know,
that. They'll never
at
say
the
that.
beginning.
They want you to forget that. They want to hide that. They want to be David Copperfield about it. Like, new actor, as opposed to like, hey, here's this story of how this game came into be. Like, we love Sam Lake. He's so honest and upfront. It's like, tell me what happened. Let me meet that guy.
Well, I mean,
That was
that'll
the
happen-
original guy.
that'll
Like,
happen in
I
interviews
wonder
and
if he was
stuff.
on staff. I wonder if, like.
Yeah, let's
No,
just
that's an
ask
actor,
him.
man. That was absolutely an actor. Yeah. Who's doing dialogue? Who is like in a VO
Dude,
booth?
what if he's like another villain or something? What if he is another character?
I'm in. I'm cool with that. I don't know though. Like, I mean, there was a playable build with that guy's face in it. You
yeah,
know what
we were talking
Yeah.
about time manipulation thing. It'd be kind of funny if you actually end up seeing both.
It's
Not
like
to mention
They're
face
going
both
off.
Jack Joyce.
Not to
They're
mention
both
going
Jack
back
Joyce.
and forth between live action and the game. It's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you constantly reminding me why are you creating this engine that looks pretty good? They're like, wow, I could tell it was Littlefinger immediately when I
Oh,
saw him.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, wow, I look like him. And then like live action, you're like, yeah, it's not as good as live action though. It's like, no, it's not. And then you go
Right,
back
right.
and you're like, why are you reminding me? Why are you challenging your engine?
I
Like,
really
what-
want to talk about the live action because I think it's a bad idea. I think
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing where you have to spend a lot of money. Like, there's like a limit. If you spend this much money, it looks like that. It looks like an early era Netflix original series. There's just like a look to cheap TV, and like you really have to spend a ton of money for it to look good.
Well, I think
Not
there-
necessarily. You just light it well.
And I don't think it was lit well. I think
Yeah.
what we saw looked like a cheap TV show, and I think that like lowers the quality of the game.
Well, I also think that there's like that split second where you saw one of the soldiers with a backpack or whatever in live action. It was like, oh no.
Oh, this is weird. So we got a new trailer where he's introducing himself. He's saying, "I'm sorry that I took over the old Jack Joyce."
That's what you wanted.
They did show this.
No, this is some new stuff.
No, they showed this. This is for like a show that's side by side.
It's part of the game, the show.
Yeah, okay.
What we're seeing here is some new stuff. There's
this
some
is
new
totally
stuff in
new.
here.
Yeah, we definitely have to see mocap
They
stuff.
definitely showed this.
When?
During the press conference?
Yeah.
No.
No, we didn't
They
see
didn't
any
see
of
this
this
stuff.
mocap stuff.
So, are you playing the audio, Ian? I am curious what he's saying.
No, the audio's down.
This is everything Brandon wanted. I feel like he's like,
Yeah.
guys, I'm really sorry. I know you
We
like
could
the old
try
Jack
audio.
Joyce.
Yeah, we can give it a shot. It might be
Let's
loud.
see.
Hang on.
Yeah. I figured we'd just be doing B-roll, so it didn't have audio on.
Oh yeah, I know, but I'm actually interested what he's.
We'll see.
You got it?
Nope.
There you go.
Ew.
Is your audio set to go out through HDMI?
Check it now.
Okay.
There's that scene again.
Yeah, I'm.
There we go.
Anything that I'm saying, I don't want to say that I'm thinking the quality of the actual game is going to be worse. Like, this game looks rad. You know, it's just it's a weird.
It's a weird thing
It's a
to
weird
do.
announcement.
So I'm sorry.
to make.
Could we rewind it? Could we
April
watch
5th.
it again?
Yeah, sure.
Coming April 5th. Release date, I'm very surprised by. That's very soon.
Oh, okay.
April 5th. I
Yeah,
feel like.
I hope that it stays on track. I hope that they have that nailed down.
I'm positive that they've been in development so long. So Ian, can we hear it too?
You should.
There we go. I hear it now.
Hey guys, I'm Sean Ashmore.
Hey,
and
guys.
this is Quantum Break. Quantum Break is an epic story. It's a story about a world in crisis, and it's really a story about destiny. It's exciting as an actor to be a part of a game that has a
They clipped
focus
up
on
his audio
character
so bad
and
there.
performance. Not only do you do the character preparation and study, you also have to be completely digitally scanned and placed into a video game. Having a virtual body, essentially, is completely foreign sort of technique for me. I think it's pushing my boundaries. Where is he? Where's my brother? Working with the other actors has been really cool. We've just started talking about these relationships. We've just
Didn't he
started
ever
delving
go
into
full ice
who
as
these characters
Iceman?
are and how they'll interact.
Last Stand he did.
They probably body scanned him maybe for
The
that.
game is going to influence the show and vice versa.
The show.
So wait, is it a show? What the hell is going on, Quantum Break?
Oh my god.
That's
They're
hilarious.
definitely calling it a show.
No.
I think it's a really unique way of storytelling that's going to bring the game player deeper into the characters.
Dang. They're
Yeah,
not. He did
leaving
not
that-
apologize for those things that Brandon was talking about.
It never happened. Never happened. They you know when you took the guns out, that's what they did. They went back. They slowed down time. And he came and he took the actor out here. Took him out of there.
When he's talking about doing a character study for things where it's just like.
Well,
Yeah, well, you watched the trailers from the past few years.
But the other thing too is that, like, I mean, look at Scalebound. You know, it's like we've seen so little
Oh,
of
we
this
should
game,
look-
and then
yeah.
they introduced this guy. Okay, yeah, but let's just transition into talking about another game, and you're like, wow, this character's really cool. And what Quantum Break, what essentially Remedy is saying is that, like, yeah, that doesn't matter. That guy, like, whatever. It's just whatever. It's a game. The dragon thing you should really worry about. That character, like, no reason to get attached to that guy. It's a what? We're developing a game. It just changes. You know.
Yeah.
It's like this link. This may be the link in the final game. I don't know. You know, like us showing this link to you doesn't mean anything. You know, like we can change his design at the last minute and not tell you that we did it or comment on it, and who cares?
Yeah.
It's like it's such a big shit. He just said he's like we just started talking about our relationships. It's like it's because you got hired 9 months ago. You know, it's because it was like it's like let's make the game and then let's have a brainstorm and figure out who's going to be playing these characters. And it's like that seems so backwards to me.
Well, I mean,
It's-
I think that's fine. It's just weird that it's been pushed up to the limelight so much, you know, just to get people on the Xbox hype train since before release. Yeah, so I think that's it's just weird the way they've marketed it.
I wonder if Remedy is just under a ton of pressure from Microsoft.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
Just like
But the whole way that they're not making it clear how the live action plays in, and they were like, oh, this is really unique.
Mm-hmm.
How does this actually work?
It's so your game looks great. It's just like it doesn't need that live action stuff. That game is fine. Just
well,
show the game.
it does the unthinkable job of making this amazing engine look bad.
Well,
You know,
I think
just
that's
like-
I think that's part of it too for me. Well, it also I think in a way like we were saying
It's like
before,
I'm playing a
the game
comparison
makes
video.
the TV aspect look bad in parts too. But it would have made more sense to me if they didn't have the same actors. Like if you saw scenes of another group of people and another way that they were being affected, having a direct comparison, it makes it really
That's what
tricky.
I thought it was. Like it was gonna follow the villain on his half of the story, or whatever. So
Yeah, when I
it
thought they were
wouldn't be the
new
same people.
characters, I was like, oh boy,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see these characters interact with the characters that we've been following.
yeah.
That I've become invested in. Oh wait, sorry. That was a mistake to become invested in trailers. I apologize. I will temper that, Xbox. Thank you for instructing me in the ways of not caring about trailers.
Oh,
All right,
boy.
but let's not be grouches. Let's talk about how good Scalebound is.
Yeah, Scalebound's pretty great.
Yeah.
I hope that demo is packaged with some other game that's going to be coming on the Xbox, like Final Fantasy 15 was.
Oh, I see. Just to get people to play it.
Yeah, like
Gotcha,
the
yeah.
reason
demo,
that makes me
yeah,
think
yeah.
about 15 is like
Yeah.
I want to play this thing over and over and over and over. Kind of reminds me of 15 too because it's got that huge elemental effect at the end, Ramu coming in and
Yeah.
blowing everything up, just to not necessarily show scale with how many soldiers there are. Like he only fights like a dozen, 20 guys. But just to have these two things and all the terraforming that they're doing, ripping up the ground and knocking trees over and making big piles of debris.
Yeah, I like these fantasy elements. I really do.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting to me because I was definitely expecting something that was just kind of, I don't know, like a reskin and a refinement of what we've come to expect out of Platinum, with Bayonetta and Metal Gear Rising and like even Transformers in a way plays very much like those games. But this I don't know. This gives me definitely more of an RPG vibe, and I'm just curious to know what all control you have with your dragon. Like we just kind of
It
see
seemed
it
like he just like orders him to
Yeah.
do stuff, and then it's like
point
a
and
pet.
click kind of thing. Yeah.
So yeah, this is the dragon just doing his thing. Just like he hasn't given him any commands yet.
I'm not into this.
I'm
Okay.
so into this.
I don't know.
What do you want this to be, Ian?
So what's
I'm
cool
not
is
sure.
we didn't
I
have
don't
this
know.
HUD when we saw it live, and so now we get a cool HUD to look at.
Huh.
We didn't?
No, that there's definitely more on screen than there was.
Oh yeah.
I think some of it was on screen though, so I think he might have just hid the mini map in the life.
So yeah, his little dragon prompt reticle there changes colors to when it's like actually highlighting something that like the
Right.
dragon can eat this or destroy
I wonder
it.
if you
or-
can switch control to control the dragon and order the human around.
Yeah, maybe only when you get on it.
Because it seems like they can communicate with each other.
Well, you're like half dragon yourself or something. You
Yeah.
have like
Yeah, the
They seem to be
transformation
able
is
to
very
talk to each
interesting.
other.
So I wonder if he's like slowly. I wonder what point this is during the game because he seems kind of like oblivious. He lands and is like, well, what side are these soldiers on? I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me.
I mean, he's also
And
just
yet
very
he's like-
laissez-faire about everything, it seems like.
Yeah. Whoa. Hey guys.
Yeah.
Whoa, I guess we gotta fight now. Chia.
Yeah. It's actually a lot like Horizon. It's a kind of like anachronistic kind of like VO. You know what I mean?
It's like light, funny Horizon.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just not into that.
Mr. Blair.
It's like that guy walked 10 feet, and then I'm not sure if this was in the demo they first showed us, but it gave you the little area text.
Yeah, it did
grassland.
that.
It's like that you're still in the same area, but it prompted you. But like chests being in the middle of the walkway and the dragon being basically the size of this valley, it feels very much like they kind of tailored it for a demo, much like what we saw from Horizon anyway.
Yeah, but like I wonder if I can get on this dragon and fly up over to that island there.
Right.
And I wonder if they
that'd
can't
be
show
fun.
that because it's not ready, or if they want to save that for later.
Yeah, I have to think that with floating islands, that's something you pretty much have to do. Like there's,
Yeah.
there are a lot of spots back there, and I would think that maybe it's not complete freedom as to how you fly. Maybe you have specific landing points or whatever, but yeah, there's got to be some aspect to that.
I love this. His weird little meat cape. The transformation is awesome.
Bacon cape.
Yeah. You see that? Hold X and B to attack? That's crazy. You have to like take your thumb off the right analog stick.
Was
I really
it
like
X
that.
and B or either
Oh,
one?
this is so great.
Maybe it's either one. Yeah.
I need
it
to
could
gift
be
this
that.
out. You got okay, blood? I need a gift of this right here.
Torch
yeah,
it.
the dragon looks real cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the amount of animation
It
in
like
space.
hits really hard, this part.
Nice.
Yeah. It's way more RPG than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's still kind of in between. So I wonder,
Yeah.
like Dragon's Dogma,
Like, this is weird. This is very like,
God of War, Bayonetta.
yeah, or
Yeah,
like DMC or something.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. We totally killed all those
Tiger's
soldiers.
a cow.
Yeah. That's cool. I'm so pumped for Scalebound. That's a unique game.
So yeah, we kick things off with Quantum Break, Crackdown 3, and Scalebound. Crackdown 3, not really much to talk about.
Oh boy. We should look at it. We should look at that trailer.
I mean,
again.
but I mean, we get that first teaser of, holy shit. We get the first teaser of that big huge building crashing, and I guess like destructibility was really
Yeah.
what they were selling there.
Yeah.
I just wonder
Um,
because
Crackdown 3, correct?
yeah, because they were talking about that, being like big multiplayer thing. I was like, I'm just curious as to how all of that is gonna like end up working and feeling, with buildings crashing down around you.
Sure, it is funny because basically what you like to do in Crackdown is just run around buildings, jump up super high.
And collect things
and
within
collect
buildings.
things.
It's like,
Yeah.
I'm assuming there's no orbs I needed in that skyscraper that's
Yeah.
now in pieces on the floor.
You're right. It doesn't really play to the strengths of Crackdown. You're right. That is kind of funny.
So I wonder if there's way less of a focus on
Yeah,
that.
I feel like even if the stuff that they were showing is an engine,
Oh,
it would have been nice to see a better extended look
Oh, I
at
hate this
actual
stuff.
gameplay.
I wanted to look up Reagent.
Oh yeah, they've got that transforming car, whatever good that does you.
Does anyone know anything
this
about
shirt.
Reagent?
Yeah, look at that big mech thing in the corner. That's the thing. You have to look at this weird over the shoulder stuff to get any sense out of the game plays.
Yeah.
That's the way you got to sell it.
And then even then I'm not that sure.
The time I said this game doesn't look ready is when the person's strafing and just like how glidey it looks. But I think that might be what it finally looks like.
Kind of
in
like
the
Saints Row at its worst, just
Yeah.
like.
I did get a huge Saints Row vibe from this part
Oh,
too.
wouldn't they
like,
call it Game City or something
Yeah,
like that?
Gangland.
But that's just
trying
like
to
you'll have
take
many different
over.
ways to bring down a criminal underworld, and it's like
Yeah.
don't just say that. Don't say that unless it's like, and now we're gonna explain exactly how that works.
You have to go
Just
on the
throw that
mini
out.
map and turn all these areas blue.
Yeah, they just like kick through a door rather than opening it.
No time.
Is everything destructible?
It kind of looks like that.
Yeah, and so actually, we didn't talk about this very much as they were really pushing the cloud. So everyone's,
yeah.
using servers to build the city.
Yeah, the whole thing blew up from the inside though, so I'm wondering if this is like a special building that you
Now look at that other building
gotta,
crumble.
like set off.
Right, but can that tall building crumble any other way and topple other buildings, or is that
Yeah, I
one
mean
big
everything
animation?
around here is falling apart. It's not just one building.
Yeah, I believe that there's not
But
a
is that
pre-canned
just
animation.
one big gas main that you'll blow up that blows up one big area?
Right.
Like, there are certain ways.
By
that
the end
they
of
have to-
Crackdown 3, there's no city left. It's literally just like
Lot
Well, that's
of,
why I wonder
great.
if after half an hour, where's
you
the
get an
city?
achievement. Oh, thanks.
A lot of full city destruction in this press conference.
So it actually said multiplayer begins summer 2016.
Yeah,
I wonder what that means.
it's always been co-op. It's always been
Or
a
is
big
that a
focus on
beta?
co-op.
Why give a
Right?
date
Is that
specifically for
a
multiplayer?
beta or is that the
yeah.
actual game?
Or is it going to be some kind of weird rollout, early access type of thing?
Why aren't we playing Killer Instinct right now? That's what I want to know.
Ooh, we should get that Toad downloaded.
As we're all completely unfamiliar with playing the game.
Yeah, Bloodstain was there, which was nice. Didn't really learn anything new about.
Yep.
I mean, I'm skipping over the TV DVR conversation.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Bloodstain was it was kind of just a, hey, we love indies. You know what I mean? It was more of a
Windows 10.
Yeah.
I got to get the Windows 10 counter
You're
up.
right, because they did say it's cross-buy?
I don't know if they said that, but I know they definitely said it's coming to Windows 10.
Yep.
Yeah, which was
Cross-save
exciting.
or
Like, cool to
something,
make
yeah.
an announcement, but like again, like you can make a video. I mean, you just have to. As soon as that budget starts rolling in, you realize the numbers you're getting. Just take a little chunk of that, and put it aside, and make something. Just make some kind of like.
Instead, we
Just
got
give me-
a character with no
just
name.
get your composer. Just get him to write something. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
just
yeah.
just a first idea that you got. Let me use that. John Williams wrote the theme to Hook without seeing the movie. Okay, like he literally Spielberg was just like, I need you to do this, and he's like, okay.
Hey, John Williams is like one. There's no other John Williams.
This is true.
And it was Peter Pan. He had an idea what he was going for.
But I mean, we're always complaining about that. We're always like, you didn't show anything. There's no game yet. You know, and like that's at like announcement sometime. Where they like announce a game and they'll show some weird video and like that doesn't mean Scalebound. You know, we saw the CG trailer and that was it. We're supposed to like figure out what this game means from that. And here, like I have such a clear vision of what Bloodstained is in my head. It's weird I haven't seen it yet. You know, or anything
Yeah.
beyond them just like, look, we moved her arm a little bit in front of this background.
No, I'm glad they didn't show anything that wasn't ready to be seen. I think honestly, it was kind of just like a for show. Like hey, this is a big project and we like it too.
Like Marco Rosado, who did some retrospectives for us, could
Yeah.
make a Bloodstained trailer in 4 days.
I'm glad. I'm glad they didn't waste it. I think it would have been a waste to have someone
I
make a
don't-
trailer
yeah.
right now.
I
I don't
don't
know, like a
wanna
big
see a
thing. Maybe not
trailer.
like now check out this trailer, but maybe just an intro. You know, just something.
I don't want to
the-
see a trailer of like concept art though, because that's what they did that year for you know, when they announced kind of that BioWare was making a new thing, maybe, and we all hated that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
don't
it can
wanna
go
see
bad. It can definitely go bad if you're just showing concept art or
Yeah.
a poorly made, not the trailer you're dreaming of.
I just think it depends on anticipation. If you're something like BioWare, it's like, well, we've been talking about Mass Effect 4 since Mass Effect 3 was done, you know, or like even like before Mass Effect 3 came out. Whereas like we just found out about this. And again, like I have no idea what a Mass Effect 4 could be, where it's like, I don't know exactly. That's unfair because there's so much more stuff that they haven't revealed. But like, you know, I've played games that this man has made that look very similar to the game that he's making. I would just like, I don't know, something. It's just because again, it's being present at these press conferences and kind of checking in with everybody and being like, here's where we're at. And it seemed like they're like, we're still counting our cash. Like we're still like, okay, what are we gonna? Okay, you get this much money, and you know, it just seemed like it was that state, and that might not be the best sell at a press conference.
I get that.
Love that guy's attitude though. There were definitely different levels of commitment to the script.
Which Ben Judd?
I
Yeah.
thought he was great.
Yeah.
He did a good job. Like what you know, even better than that lady who came out to talk about what was she talking about? The Windows 10 tech demo. Yeah, the Square Enix stuff. She was very pleasant, but at the same time, it like felt very scripted.
Yeah.
It started very.
I think that
easy,
was
but then
Jasmine
got-
Lawrence.
Yeah.
Nice with the name, Kyle.
I'm probably wrong.
We Happy Few. You want to talk about that, Ian, real quick?
That game looks cool. I love the logo. I love how creepy it was. I don't exactly know what the game is. Like, is it just a first-person Bioshock-esque, or?
Yeah, it seems like you're some kind of a spy. Like that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like it seems like there's a
Yeah.
lot of you going, like kind of like Dishonored, but without the bamfing. You know, where it's just kind of like you just got to get through this area and get to this item, but don't set anybody off, or like they'll get wise to you. And
Oh man, the way they look at you as you walk by.
but you don't
So
know. Like you
creepy.
can't base anything on their facial reactions, like whether they
Right.
know, are angry or whether they're going to attack you or what they're going to do.
I get a real, maybe mostly from that first shot, but like, the gameplay might be like mostly stealth, like trying not to get killed. You know, like Sir, you are being hunted or something.
Yeah.
Who knows? Well, no, this looks like you're walking in
Yeah.
public and they're looking at you.
But I mean, you look at a world like Crackdown, and you're just kind of like, okay, nothing in that area really stands out.
Right.
Individually, it's just kind of like one big, neon explosion. Whereas this, like, I'm gonna explore the hell out of
there's
this environment.
Airplane crashed there in that
Yeah.
building.
It's gonna take me 10 minutes to leave any of these rooms.
He's got like a needle. Yeah, he's trying to inject you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have some information on
Oh, I
Reagent
love that
Games.
logo.
Okay.
Crackdown had no developer announced up till this point.
Okay.
And so it was a mystery who was actually making that game. Reagent are ex-Real-Time Worlds developers who made the first original Crackdown and then went on to make All Points Bulletin, which is that huge, expensive failure game. And then, and then went on to make Reagent Games. So this is like a new studio. I think this is their first game, and that's why it was so hard to Google before. And I'm reading this off of a rumor from May that they're working on Crackdown 3. And then that person totally called it. Good article. Good job, SteveRules.com. Shout out to Steve Rules with a Z.com.
Rules.
Yeah. Great article, really, honestly. That's good call, dude.
Worms, congrats for being at the Xbox press briefing at Gamescom 2015.
Good for you, Worms.
Yeah, way to
Still
go.
doing it.
Nice, moving up there.
It's
I wonder if
weird-
Worms is a replacement. I wonder if something was supposed to be there and it backed out at the last minute and they were like, oh, Worms.
Worms?
Oh, Worms.
We got a Worms.
Kyle, can you get those guys on the phone?
Yep.
Get some Worms or something? I'm cutting the gameplay trailer right now.
They said, Team 17's also, I think they're helping with ukulele now, too.
Yes.
Is this Worms? Bringing up Worms?
Yeah.
Blair with the Worms. You want Worms?
Yep.
I'll get you Worms. I was still hoping for that World of Tanks cross by. But
Yeah, I think they might be done with World of Tanks. I think it hasn't been a huge success for them.
No, they just came out with an
trailer
Xbox
today
One
for
version
it.
the other day.
Really? Okay, so maybe it's working. World
And they
of
did a
Tanks.
good. They did a good string of potentially smaller announcements: Killer Instinct, Bloodstained, Worms, Thimbleweed Park, Ark,
Killer Instinct's huge.
We Happy Few. They wrapped the whole thing up with We Happy Few, Ian. They knew.
They knew.
They
Yeah.
knew. Like
They got
compared to
it.
like Thimbleweed
The
Park and
idea of
Worms, like
Xbox
let's hold.
Uh,
Before we move on to Cobalt and Minecraft, let's get We Happy Few in there.
Blair, do we have that Battletoads thing? I would love to see that one more time.
They didn't put anything out, I
Dang.
don't think.
Oh, I would
it was
love-
just the stage announcement, but they haven't actually put out media for it yet.
He turns into the wrecking ball. He's got all the moves. It's that was we saw some really good. I couldn't process it all fast enough.
There's something pretty great about just a random character. I wish Ben Moore was here. Just being thrown into a fighting game.
Yeah.
And you wondering like, well, how does this, how does that work? How is that balanced? Has Killer Instinct ever had celebrity cameos?
No.
I mean, Soul Calibur is like forever
So
done
wait,
that.
wait,
Mortal
wait.
Kombat's done
Wait,
that a
wait,
lot
wait.
recently. And
So you love celebrity cameos in fighting games, but you hate them in third-person action games?
Well, this is
you
so
don't
diff-
see a clear difference, like
It's not like, full gore
yeah,
is now.
lore-wise.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not concerned about how Saber
Sub-Zero
Wolf and
is now
Zitz
Lara
are going to be in the
Croft.
same world. Where it's like, yeah, if you have, also one is a human being, the other it's
Yeah.
a toad.
Oh man, no,
Iceman
I'm
is
so
a
what a cool cameo. I'm really pumped
Toad
about that.
context.
I honestly
And
though.
that day of, love that. And I think that's
Yeah.
like a new thing now with conferences where they're just like every week with GT Live. I'm like, what's our giveaway this week, Blood?
Yeah,
They
that
got a press
immediacy.
conference like, ooh, what's our giveaway?
It gives you a good
what do
feeling.
we, that we prepped. That like we knew this was going to happen. We prepared for the whole thing. Whereas Bloodstain's like, well, we got to be here, so.
I bet there is someone on that Killer Instinct team though who's like so serious about the lore, like I am, who's just so frustrated, just like really we have to put a Battletoad in my game.
I don't know, man. I don't feel like
Why-
Killer Instinct is a game that's got a lot of lore that people care about. I don't know.
And I'm sure he got over that once they started parsing the characters out, like pay to play,
Yeah.
like once you get Killer Instinct, not everyone's going to be in there. That guy was probably like,
Yeah.
you have to be in there
Yeah.
because
I just-
otherwise the world doesn't make sense.
I mean, even though I haven't played this new one, I can't think of any time that like that series went deep into lore. Like some character backstory, sure, but like I don't even know if there's a whole lot of reason for people to be fighting each other. Like it's a straight up.
A stage would be
Fighting
sweet
game.
too. I know that's too much to ask. We didn't get like a Jason stage
Oh, yeah,
or a
stage
Predator
would
stage in
be-
Mortal Kombat,
Yeah.
but like a Battletoads exclusive stage with everything looking all like 8-bit in the background.
Yeah.
I could get way down.
I don't
with
know
that.
about that, but yeah, it'd be cool to see some stuff.
Space.
Blood doesn't like that idea. Shut down.
Shut down. Sorry.
8-bit background. Not gonna happen,
Okay.
you guys.
Killing it.
Ark. Go Ark.
Great trailer.
I love Ark, man.
Yeah.
We didn't find out about Ark until recently. What was that? A Blair? Not feeling Ark?
I'm feeling Ark. I'm putting it up on the screen for you.
Okay.
Great.
I don't know. This footage looking better than Ark to me. That's why I didn't recognize it at first.
Yeah,
Well, I
because
think it's coming along. You know. I think
Yeah,
this game-
exactly.
But again, transparency. Like the whole attitude of this game has been like, we want Far Cry to do this. They're not going to do it. We want these other franchises. We thought these couple of games were going to be this. It's not. We're doing it. Come along with us. It's early access. This game's going to get better and better and better as we go along. And as far as the community is concerned, like seeing them go in, like they don't seem to have the attitude that like this game better be, polished and perfect. It's kind of like, hey, this game's kind of broken and it's fun that way. Let's get in there and shake it up and see what we can do in this world.
Yeah.
And from the looks of it, it's slowly getting better and better.
And that is worth talking about. What do they call it? Preview? The Xbox version of early access.
Yeah, people in the preview program.
Yeah, so I think that is actually really interesting. Sony announced they will do something like that, but haven't proven it yet. And here we see, I think that we saw 3 or 4 games that will be like previewed, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a really odd system the way they work it out because they just kind of send random invites out to people, and then the way the messaging service works is if you're like me and you don't jump on the message right away, then it's like, oh, the message disappeared after a month.
Wait, what are you talking? That's not how they do early access? What do you mean?
Yeah. I mean, this is. I'm pretty sure they were talking about this as part of the preview program, which is it's an invite-only thing to select Xbox users.
Oh, okay. I may have misunderstood. I thought they were talking about it being early access, like Xbox version of early access.
Yeah, like the preview people can play like backwards compatible games right now,
Right.
Even though they won't come out. till-
Right, because they get like the patches sooner, everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did they do? They spent 92 million years playing Xbox 360 games already, so you'll get to do that too soon.
Full disclosure, I want to lock myself in a room and play this for a week.
You're really into Ark, huh?
Yeah, I love it.
Riding
Just-
dinosaurs.
Just because I think the full reward of this game is really taking your time to set that stuff up, to look at your fort and be
Yeah.
like, oh man, I spent so much time on that.
Right, you just start as a
You know.
naked man on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is true. Well, half naked. I mean, you're not.
Yeah.
That
Or
would
a
be-
woman. You can start as a naked woman on the beach as well.
This is true. But just the feeling, like when that guy first got that sniper rifle, I was like, yes, I can scope people from a distance.
Yeah.
It took me like 5 days.
Right, I used
to build up those things, and I think that was a big deal why they ended on that gun. I like ending not necessarily because the first trailer that we got, they were like walking into the dragon. That was the big reveal. The dragon like breathes fire on them. It's like, what are you guys doing walking right into a fire-breathing dragon? But whatever. Whereas this one, it's like not only this giant spider, but the gun that the guy is using, and it's just like, oh, that's gonna take a long time
That is
to
cool.
get that just fully automatic, like World
Yeah,
War
because
II
you do see guys with
submachine gun.
spears a lot in this trailer too.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like when it was you and me, it was like beating butt stabs with a rock. Do you remember that thing? That like it was a boar? Yeah, it was
It
like
wasn't butt stabs. What was it? It was I can't remember.
I don't remember it either. Maybe chat does. Check chat. But yeah, we were just like hitting a boar with a rock, and so it is cool to see this game eventually it will escalate to that point. Yeah, I think that's awesome.
And then there's just different levels of this game. It's
Yeah.
not like you're not having fun when you're not at the point where there's giant spiders and fully automatic rifles. It just changes. You can clearly tell it's like a different deal. And then you go by that huge castle, and it's like, did someone build that, or did you just find that?
Someone
Or, like,
built that
if you're
castle.
going through this world, and you look up and see that, it's like, I am not going to work the next day. All I'm going to do is just like, how do I get up there? Like,
Yeah.
a hot air balloon or what?
Ich habe eine Frage. Is this
German.
an MMO?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like Rust?
It's like
kinda?
Minecraft.
Oh,
There's
oh.
individual servers.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you can load up. So you can jump into a game with a totally random, be like, I don't know any of these people, or you can like follow someone in the forums, find out what their server is, and
this
then
game
jump on it
sounds
like they're already
fun.
established.
Yeah.
Uneasy Alliance.
Uneasy Alliance. We got any codes for this game that I can play?
Yeah, it's early access. I don't
Early
know.
access,
Yeah, we
man.
should,
Oh, nice.
I don't know if we have any
Just-
codes
yeah,
right
these
now.
guys.
Just
I was
spend
not,
some money on
I was
it.
not
Oh,
pleased with
okay,
the way
I'll
our
spend
PC
some money.
performed when we played this game. So again, just another reason I'm excited to just like to streamline it, Because when we get something working on PC and it doesn't work, it's like, is this our fault? Is it their fault? Is it the computer's fault for some weird reason? Like, is there something that we have installed, that's just messing this up? Like, I have no idea.
So I wonder if Windows 10 is making it easier to, like, I wonder if that's like not that hard to make cross-compatible. Do you know what I mean? I wonder if you have a game running on PC, how hard it is to get it to work on an Xbox. I think it might be like not that bad.
People in chat are like, Ian said I have a question. I know German.
All right, good job. Yeah.
Woo!
Thimbleweed Park. How much time should we spend talking about this game? We didn't really
Minimal.
see a ton of stuff new.
I think it's
Ron Gilbert came out on stage, didn't he?
Yeah, you're
Ron
right.
Gilbert flew all the way to
Yeah.
Germany to come
Yeah.
out on stage and to let everybody know that's still happening.
That's pretty cool.
They
I
didn't
think-
really show anything.
I think it's kind of interesting and funny that they've like gone so like retro with the look.
And because it is so retro, like we can't get new gameplay. Again, it's like, is that
I
really?
think there
is that
was
really gonna
some new
stress
gameplay
you
in
out?
there.
Yeah, there were a couple new clips.
Yeah, but it is so stupid to have old clips from your old trailer from before this was even funded on Kickstarter in your Gamescom trailer.
It was just funny.
Yeah.
Like they cut the gameplay. The first shot's like them in front of like a diner or something. It's
Yeah.
like, it's like I'm laughing. Are you playing this as a joke? Like I don't know. Maybe play that up or
The way you feel
or-
about Bloodstained, I get for this game because it is way further along, and this was a big opportunity for them.
Like Sony made a huge joke out of the Grim Fandango announcement. Like Tim Schafer like writing the letter. Like, you should
Oh,
bring
yeah,
back
I forgot about that.
Fandango,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like Ron Gilbert comes out like, oh, this will be a hoot, and like, nope. It's kind of like, and this. Yeah, same thing as Bloodstained. Just kind of like, okay, I think you could have done something.
You're on a
there.
huge stage.
Um,
Millions are watching.
but that game still looks adorable. Dark Souls 3.
oh yeah.
Oh, that was a good trailer.
That face, man. That face.
You guys want audio on this?
That face.
We
in
don't
the
need
dark.
audio, but the music is great.
It was just some sweet music.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that skull coming out of the dark, is that what you're talking about? Yeah, super
it wasn't a
cool.
skull. That was like a face. That was like a mask.
Creepy.
I think it's a skeleton.
I think it was
I
a
think it's skull.
skeleton.
We'll see.
It
We'll,
looked like kind of a
skeleton.
formulated mask.
we'll be able to go full screen. We can check the tape.
Look at that dark
Team Mask.
sign.
Seeing
Yeah.
the bonfire mechanic,
Yeah, super cool.
and then seeing the boss do it to you.
Yeah.
I think it was just a fire-based attack.
Right.
I'm not sure he
Okay.
actually was bonfiring
Yeah.
you, but I love
I
this
love it,
because
though.
it looks like it's like a more modern Anne Orlando kind of. I don't know.
That dead dragon though leaves an
Super
impact
cool.
on you.
Yeah, super cool. It seems like Decay. I love the
Is that
peace
you?
sign.
Oh no, that's got to be a.
No,
That's
that's,
an enemy.
that's like a
enemy.
Tower of Latria sort of enemy. But like, yeah,
This church. Oh my God. This is
all
so
in game,
intense.
which is so nice.
it looks like
Yeah.
there's a lot more society in this one.
Yeah.
this
than
might
in-
be. Kind
Like,
of
I
a
assume
cutscene,
those are
but it's an
enemies.
in-engine.
I don't
Yeah,
think we
they
can
could
kill all
be.
those people.
We're gonna try.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then gameplay.
Oh,
Give me
sweet
the mask.
lord.
Give me the mask.
Very fast
So
skeletons.
fast. I love it.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
no,
he's a
yeah.
big old
it's a
skull.
skeleton. You're right.
So what's funny is when I first saw that, I assumed he was just kind of a friendly thing who asks for an item.
He very much could be.
But then I saw this, and I'm like, oh, those giants will fight you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
could be like a
that's that backstab you can't do in Bloodborne, right?
Primordial serpent.
Correct.
I remember Justin Spear teaching me that backstab.
You can do
taught you
you
the
can do a
backstab.
visceral attack in all of them, but they
Oh, yeah,
look
look at
different
that.
in Bloodborne.
Those
Boss, cool.
bars kill me, Ian.
Huh?
Because at the scale of this game, you're like, oh my god, and all of a sudden it's smaller. All of a sudden it was like, whoa. Everything just looks.
When you
just,
see
Oh, the
the-
letterboxing.
just those two shots.
when you see the boss come
like
down.
I get it's the intro because all the bosses have intros. When you walk into the room, everything goes widescreen, and then the boss comes out. But just like such a pace interrupter, especially when you have this whole world, and then it's like, no.
Oh, I didn't
okay,
even
back
notice.
to the open screen. Okay, no, back to bars. If you want to open with bars and then go full screen, great. But yeah, me, my
I don't understand why these trailers are so good.
all
I
the
wonder.
Dark Souls trailers. are
I
so good.
wonder
From
who they get to do
Software
them.
has discipline and makes quality items.
Do you think From Software like says tells Bandai Namco like we got this covered?
They probably have some say.
Because Bandai Namco has no other good trailers that are like this. All their other trailers are like for Naruto games and they're stupid, you know? Like this is
Yeah.
a good trailer.
Yeah, they have atmosphere. I mean, they have someone, whoever they hire, or if they do a little clipping on that, if they do like have From people do it, I don't know.
The branding iron looks like the peace symbol.
And it looks like a peace sign. I saw
That's
that.
so weird.
I think there's also such a clear vibe coming from Dark Souls. Like when you're in the beginnings of a game's advertising, like vibe is really what you're searching for.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
From
Look at
your
that.
lead
God
actors that are introduced and then removed from the game. So like
You're so angry
It's like
about
Dark
that.
Souls trailers to me are always just kind of like that. Some of this.
Yeah.
You know, there's no title that's like in a world of ash. It's just
Yeah.
like nope, that. There's
Yeah.
a dragon, he's dead. The castle, you got to dodge that guy, Dark
Yeah.
Souls, and it's enough, and they know it's enough.
Gotta dodge that guy.
You know, like you hit him with the arrow there, you roll there.
You play as
So
Jack
right.
Mangus. Ian, I have a question.
Hi.
So there's like the pole axe that you dodge, and it looks
Halberd.
like you throw something at the enemy.
It has really fast short bow in this one. Apparently.
So you think that's what you do? He dodges the or the pole axe and then shoots a bow?
him? Yeah, it could be like a crossbow or a short bow.
Yeah,
they
that
said
looks
they
awesome.
wanted to. I think probably in no small part due to the gun in Bloodborne, they
Mm-hmm.
wanted to have some kind of quick
Yeah.
mid-range.
You're right. That might be that because he dodges it and then just shoots.
Yeah. If you want long range, you still have to use the longbow and like aim, but
Yeah.
you can do quick action short bow.
All right, sorry, Brandon. I just want to watch it through one more time.
No.
This
I
trailer.
somebody was talking about how there's voiceover in this trailer. There's like a
Yeah,
creepy
there's a
woman
lady talking.
So I was saying that like there's no like in a world. Oh, like there is voiceover, but like it's just a big difference. And like I think we might be totally past this point, but like you telling me like this is an exciting adventure game, like that means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, like literally nothing. Like we're totally past that point.
Yeah.
Like once games went 3D, like yeah, sure, maybe we can milk that a little bit more. But like now that we're like so far into this, like all games now are going to be HD, all games are going to be widescreen. It's just better frame rate, higher fidelity, better sound.
Yeah, it's a
more
bow.
enemies, better animations, all this stuff. And so that's why this is so great, Kyle, because they're literally just like, watch it.
Yeah.
You're done. Like we don't need to come out on stage. No one came out on stage to announce this.
Yeah.
How awesome was it?
Yeah. Right.
No one came out. In Dark Souls 3, you walk through a decrepit world that's falling apart. What happened? You don't know. It's up to you to solve the riddle of this dying world in Dark Souls 3. It's just like
Yes.
there's no script. You're writing your script yourself in your head. You're trying to formulate what does all this mean. What that giant skeleton head? Do you fight that? Is that just an environmental thing? Is that something like the dude in the cage that you drop in Bloodborne, where it's like you
Yeah.
don't really ever fight that guy? It's just kind of like
But it gives
you just
you
get to a point later in the
frenzy.
game where you can trigger something that moves him or makes him react in a certain way. Lots of focus on big things so far. We had
Yeah.
the teaser. We had this huge giant. We got the big guy that slams down on the bridge. We got the big skull dude.
Yeah.
Giants are very thematically relevant in the
Yeah.
Dark Souls world.
I was curious if there was any thematic relevance in this trailer.
Oh yeah, all over.
Oh, man.
I think it's very cool though that Microsoft has shown this game so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've kind of taken the lead on showing it off both times.
I mean, it
That's
makes
really
sense. They
huge.
definitely want to play up the multi-platformness of this. Mm-hmm.
No, they don't.
That diverse. Well, yeah, but I mean, as opposed to what
It's not only on PlayStation. They're like, hey, we got this too.
what we're
Yeah.
what we're used to from software.
It's incredible support. I really think that's cool.
Got that library,
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you
greatest
think,
library in Xbox history. Everybody.
Do you think that's because they've already got the PlayStation market? Like from Software's point of view, it's like we already got the PlayStation people. Now we need to get the Microsoft.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I really love that short bow. That's me. That's my class.
another totally
You can do that with anybody.
again
bro.
another totally useless statement that keeps being spouted. That they said a lot, like the greatest library. Like every new day is the greatest library of Xbox. Every time you release some weird ID at Xbox games, now it's officially the greatest library in Xbox history. It's
Yeah.
like, today's the first day of the rest of my life. You're like, yes. Like,
Yeah, that statement
it's
really
just
falls
empty
flat, to
calories.
be
It
honest.
doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, empty calories.
That
exactly.
will be happening to me for sure.
Great boss though.
Windows 10.
Like a tall, weird ghost lady with armor. Perfect.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic
Um,
Souls.
Yeah, great.
Ukulele off in a
But
corner.
I'm glad we could talk specifically about like why this had such a big impact. And
Nice
it's just like
fade,
Dark
Blair.
Souls,
Yeah,
every
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Which I'm now in that. I used to make fun of y'all, and now I'm just like, I gotta play that. That's a good looking game.
But what-
Yeah,
what
Xbox
about-
too. They're just like, yeah, we gotta get on that Dark Souls.
Speaking of going right for the feels,
Yeah.
Homefront.
Oh, what a
This little
trailer!
kid,
Oh, yeah.
man.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh!
god, this might be the trailer of the show. That might be
Yeah.
my favorite trailer.
Yeah.
Well, we got some more time, but yeah.
The end was a little weird. It was a little weird to end on like the city blowing up because, like, as Americans, we have a little bit of an emotional attachment to watching a big wide shot of a metropolitan city and seeing explosions.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah, I
like,
hear you
Yeah,
there.
we
it was
love
kind of
that.
weird to like show a shot like that and be like, yeah,
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, I get you.
It is kind of weird because they're blowing up their own
Right.
country. Yeah.
But
I loved the shift of this though,
Oh yeah.
because you think it's just the whole thing is just going to be juxtaposition of like the things he's saying going contrary to what we're being shown, but then you realize like, oh, he's talking about thank you for giving us purpose to fight you.
Right.
Yeah.
So cool.
Well, that's what I like. To bring a comparison with another trailer, there was the first, the teaser for first CG trailer for Arkham Knight, which had the will of Thomas Wayne. It was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
dear Bruce,
Yeah.
don't buy fast cars. You know, so like, it's this thing that's written. It was a good idea, but just the actual writing was terrible.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
it was like written in a way for like, it's cheeky, but Thomas Wayne certainly didn't mean for it to be cheeky. You know,
Yeah.
like, and if you actually break down the context, like, what he's writing the will, but he knows he's gonna die. This doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Whereas like. This also has double meaning, but yeah, you get to that midway point, you realize like I think this intentionally has double meaning. You know,
Yeah.
it's like plus there's that language barrier, so it's like this. Yeah, the whole game is about taking it when you can. You know, just being like you give us an inch, we'll take a mile. Kind of that slow subversive, and this game being like the big push towards actually like starting this revolution.
Dude, and that delivery is so good.
And I loved, to bring up another game that's, definitely get the same vibe from is Wolfenstein New Order. That idea that it's like we already lost. Like Firefly. It's like it's over. War's over. It's like what's this world like now? And I think that's fascinating, and I think a great step to take from the first Homefront, which is kind of like the beginning of that story. I hear if you pre-order, you get a copy of the interview, which is cool. You can download that for free on Xbox.
Wait, what?
The
Is that
interview,
true?
The other We Hate Korea project. I wonder if Korea's like.
Are you just joking right now?
Yes, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was willing to roll with it. I like
But
it.
it just makes me wonder. It makes me wonder if there's gonna be some kind of backlash against this game. Like this was very clear. It's
Well,
one
I
thing to just kind of be
mean-
like, yeah, they're the enemy, but we're really focusing on the soldiers. And like he walks out and there's the logo in the background.
Yeah.
It's like all the Korean soldiers staring at him. It is interesting to just kind of come up with your own story and paint a villain that actually exists. It's why in Just Cause, like you go to some made up city. It's why
Yeah,
in a lot of
exactly.
games
Yeah, I
like,
get you.
we just made this up. It's not. It might be evocative of some areas on the planet, but like we're not going to come out and just call out some random government, which is Korea. Seems like, no, Korea's fine.
Yeah, I think that this is not being politically critical of North Korea. It's just using them as an easy enemy. You know what I mean? Like basically, the game we're going to be playing is just like war in the U.S. And so they just needed a reason to make that happen. I don't think it's too politically charged, to be honest.
Oh, no.
We've already had Russia for how
Sure.
many years in
Right.
every
Yeah.
Call of Duty game for the last 20 years.
And for some reason, right now, it's more realistic for North Korea to invade the U.S. than Russia. Wasn't this going to be China and they had to change it?
No, I don't think so.
I wonder if there's a lot of good details in this trailer. I wonder if you like freeze frame this, like the maps he's pointing at, his phone when he brought it up. I know
Yeah.
it said like Philadelphia on it. I'm like, I wonder if it says the year, if there's any other little hints.
Find some details.
No, I think they're better off avoiding a year. But with the gameplay, though, I'm glad to see that the game is actually coming along and looking good because I feel like there's been a lot of, there's just been a lot of weird shakiness around the whole thing with the transition from THQ and everything. So, and
And Crytek's been having a ton of issues.
And yeah, was
they've
this a
changed-
smart announcement
they've
because of that?
switched development studios and that kind of thing. And
Again, self-aware. I feel this trailer is very self-aware.
Yeah.
Like this trailer did speak to me on a level where they're like, I know you were unsure of what's happening with Revolution. Remember why you were kind of excited about this? Like, yes, you know.
Yeah, because when I had
Whereas-
that E3 video, I was so into it. It was 2 years ago. Yeah, I loved that video.
Whereas, like, I feel like, again, you know, I'll bring up Quantum Break whenever I can. Just that kind of expectation where it's like, we know you're excited. And you're like, you never know that. Never just ride that, you know. Always come in thinking, like, I'm going to have to show you something new. I'm going to have to, you know, change things up.
Don't just walk through a door with your smug Iceman face and say, hey, guys. Don't introduce yourself with, hey, guys.
oh my gosh.
What's up with that?
What's his name? Ashmore? I feel bad we keep calling him Iceman. What's his actual name?
Sean Ashmore.
Sean Ashmore. All
I'm
right.
still calling him Iceman. FIFA 16 Legends.
Sure.
Woo! Gotta have FIFA in there.
We should just skip
Only
past the
sports
part-
thing, yeah, that they talked about.
You're right.
And it is weird when, like, EA will just kind of sneak into other people's press conferences when they themselves are having their own press conference. It doesn't seem as weird at E3 because it's like, well, everybody's stepping up to the plate. Whereas, like, it is only Xbox and EA or, like, and Blizzard, but, like, are the major, you know, companies coming out and showing multiple things. So it's kind of weird that EA is just kind of like,
I mean, what?
see you tomorrow.
Yeah, but also, like, they only talk about EA Access during Microsoft.
Yeah.
They don't even bring it up in their own press conference because it's only relevant to people who have an Xbox. That's crazy to me.
It's like, if we bring that up in our own press conference, it'll just really bring the pace down.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah. That's exactly, Brandon, that is exactly what they say, and Microsoft has to say yes. Yeah, please, come on. How funny is that?
Jonesy.
We got Matt Blair question.
Yes.
Real quick while we have a second. People have been posting this in the chat. There's a couple of links, but it's official. Game Informer is reporting that Destiny recasts the Ghost. It is no longer Peter Dinklage. It is now Nolan North.
I saw someone say R.I.P.
no.
Dinkbot. Yeah.
Oh my
What?
god.
Nolan North has re-recorded all the lines from
Re-recorded?
Destiny 1.
Whoa, like legit replaced.
Yes. As in full-on gutted him, and it is now Nolan North henceforth in past and present and future.
Is this real
That
news?
is I'm looking right at the Game Informer article.
That's insane.
That is-
Again, this is what I'm talking. This subversion. Bungie's not going to even, or 343 is not, or what am I talking about? Bungie's not going to announce this. They're not going to say anything.
Yes, they are.
You think?
They absolutely
Why
will.
is Game Informer coming out with the news?
They probably.
Why isn't Bungie getting ahead of this?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe
And
that.
how do you
So-
sell
Wait,
that?
yeah, wait.
So Game Informer had an appointment with them for the Taken King, and this was one of the details that came out. And obviously, it's a big deal. So they wrote one article about it in particular.
Right.
I'm sure they have a full coverage of the preview coming for the Fallen King, if not today, sometime soon. But this is a big deal.
That's a
I
big
don't know.
deal.
I don't know if Bungie's plan on saying anything. but-
Fixing a mistake and then playing it off
That's
as
hilarious.
good thing, it just right there, man. Every time, it just gets me.
But I mean, are they fixing a mistake, or are they just like, well, we can't afford
they
to
are
keep getting Peter
clearly
Dinklage?
fixing a mistake.
They're just
they're
obliterating
retconning his
terrible
VO.
acting.
Well, there's a solid chance that he just didn't want to come back and do it again, or he was too busy. Maybe there's scheduling conflicts. Something.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Because
what the deal
it's
is.
probably a thing where like it's a 10-year contract. I bet they lock down Nolan North for the rest of Destiny.
But what's easier, having a cinema where like, whoops, Dinklage got smashed in a reactor. Oh well, you get a new ghost.
Yeah, that little ghost is so important to the writers, where they're just like, yeah, we need him for the rest of this 10 years.
They're like, no, people hate this guy. Like if we got to bring in.
I mean, I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to hear Nolan North's take on every single one of those lines. Even just like, hold on a second, I have to open this door. He had to redo all of those. That
Like
is so
1,000
funny.
times, because that's every
To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see if he actually puts a lot of effort into the role to make it not just sound like Nolan North. Like, we've seen him do some pretty unique voices where you don't recognize him at all. And then there's no
what- Hold on to your
and
butts.
that's honestly what I want. Like that's the other thing you talk about Quantum Break is just like I'm never a huge fan. Which is like we got this guy. It's like I'd rather be my own guy. I'd rather be John Marston. It's just like, who is this guy? I don't know who's voicing him. I've never seen his face before.
Sure.
Love that character.
Yeah.
Whereas like that's not a character. That's Iceman. You know,
Again,
it's like,
yeah, that's what- yeah.
and so it's like it's like I would much rather that they were just like. Like, oh, we fired Dinklage. We got a new guy. Like, who? Like, some guy. Brian T. Delaney, the guy in Fallout 4. Some guy that you're not like, oh, I can't get Tyrion out of my head. It's like, now it's like, crap, now I can't get Uncharted out of my head.
What
Thanks.
if- What if they got Nolan
unless he
North?
pulls a Troy Baker and it's like,
Well-
whoa, that's Nolan North? I don't even. But he's done. Like, Penguin? Like,
Yeah.
That's not
Nolan
fair.
North, his Penguin performance is great.
That's not fair. You could easily say he's pulling a Nolan North because he does do some pretty awesome voices. The Penguin
Yeah.
does not sound like Nolan North in any shape or
Yeah,
form.
yeah, yeah.
There's been a few of those.
What if they got him to do Dinklage?
That would be hilarious. I'm
love that.
going to get him to do Dinklage.
I would
I'm having
love
Nolan
that.
North on GT Live.
Can't wait.
And we're going to get him to do a Dinklage impersonation. Yeah, I mean, you know what sounds like the most likely is that they couldn't. Dinklage was like, oh, yeah, I'll come back, but I gotta, he's talking with his agent, like, get me out of this, please, somehow.
Yeah.
This has not been good for me. It's
I bet
like
he got a lot
the
of
money worth
tweets.
it was not worth me. It's not my damn fault they wrote this crappy dialogue or used my first take or picked that. Like, I don't know. Like, do you know how much crap he had to read? Like, he doesn't know the context of where any of this takes place. It's totally up to directors to to tell him to like get a good performance.
It seemed to me that Dinklage had like a week to do all of it.
Sure.
And so they just powered through it, and whoever was directing it was like afraid of him.
I'm gonna blame the director. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
So they were like, we need a
And the
read
writers.
where it doesn't sound completely terrible, please. That's not how you direct someone, but like, I don't know.
That's how I direct you in.
I-
They were, like,
honestly,
afraid. Yeah.
I
Be
think a lot of like
better.
Hollywood voice actors have an idea of what a video game VO is supposed to sound like. You know what I mean? I think they kind of dumb it down.
This is a controversial opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced that Dinklage is like a super great actor.
Oh, here it comes.
He's hit or miss.
He's a little hit or miss.
Yeah.
Like he's real good sometimes, and other times
His
I'm like,
accent on Game of Thrones is not the best.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It gets a little.
There are people
yeah,
on that show that are not
touch
British.
and
They're
go.
pulling it off, and he's doing his thing.
How about Ian
But he's so
McShane
damn
on there?
likable, and
Swearingen?
he's just so like you just love that guy. He's just one of those people that's like you were born
Oh
to be
yeah.
a performer.
Love
Like,
Tyrion.
But yeah, not necessarily. Again, I even Nolan North is like, well, is he gonna get too expensive? Like, well, just get some guy. Like, why? Yeah.
But
They got
Nolan
like-
Is
North's
anyone
not
not
doing
excited
Game
about
of
Fallout 4 because they didn't cast a huge celebrity? Is anybody like, well, now I'm not into that game? It's like I don't care. It
Yeah.
could be anybody.
Right.
I
But like now that you mention that name, like, well, now I'm thinking about that guy. Like now that's its own weird headline.
When
And then if
it's-
that guy goes out and does something, Tiger Woodsy or Bill Cosby or so, they're like, ooh, it's like now you're attached to that now because you got that celebrity and he,
It's-
cheated on his wife or did.
That's
You're
the
like,
nice about
oh.
video games. You can go back and retroactively take someone out of a video game. That's a whole new era, man. You can't do that with a movie.
I wonder how big that update's going to be. I wonder
Yeah.
when that's happening.
That's
I wonder
crazy.
when that's going to
That's a
drop.
great-
And if
What's
they're
that
going to
like
make an
with
announcement
the-
at all.
with the Taken King.
The Taken King probably is when that big update will strike with
Yeah.
all the new stuff. Yeah.
Removing audio files and replacing that has to be so complicated. That's
Yeah.
so
You
crazy.
You know what I would do? So like when they changed the captain on Star Tours, while you were in the line,
Hate
there was
that.
like the old Paul Rubens captain. That was like they were like shipping away. Like he was like in a shipping crate. Like he's like, oh, I'm broken, man, and like would do little like lines. And you're just like, oh, that's the old captain. It'd be great if you like bumped into old Dinklebot at one point. It was like broken on the floor. Like he was like rambling.
Wait,
Dude,
so
I'm so
they
sad.
kept the old narrator?
Well, it's C-3PO now instead of
Which
Pee Wee
sucks.
Herman. Paul Rubens did the voice of the
That
old man
makes
Star
no
Tours.
sense. I hate that. I loved that Star Tours robot so much, and it made sense because he works for goddamn Star Tours. He would be
Right.
there.
I love having
3PO has
C-3PO. I
no
like that.
reason to be there. None.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, Star Tours rules. I miss the old guy.
You sound like me right now, Ian.
I know.
Yeah.
no,
it's
I
a-
miss that robot when I
It's
went
a-
in
it's a
there. I was
theme-
like,
it's a theme park
"C-3PO,
ride,
What are you doing? What is this?
He wants
Also,
more context.
Funny, or not funny, but like having a celebrity do a voice that's a character that isn't you doesn't bother me really. But yeah, when it's like Fallout 4 and it's you, or like Mass Effect, you want someone like really good, like Jennifer Hale, but who can do a voice that is, it's very specific and very well done, but kind of general. Like
Yeah.
either way you play this person, it'll work.
Like even Tywin Lannister, Charles Dance being in Witcher 3, I was like, oh no, really?
Yeah.
That's a bummer. Because I'm gonna go to the king, and it's just like it's not the king, it's Tywin Lannister. It's like he's not even doing a different voice; he's doing his Tywin Lannister voice. It's like it's just so my brain is like get out of my head. Game of Thrones. And it just to me, if you're like you really immerse in your game, like you don't want to do that. You only do that because you want to make a big announcement, which is weird. That they're. Yeah, I'm so curious how Bungie's gonna handle this.
Yeah.
What kind of you're gonna scroll through the notes of the update? It's way at the bottom. Oh yeah,
To be honest with you,
recast Peter Dinklage.
they've handled controversy with this exact subject already. And when they had the giant public alpha, public beta, and the voice acting was awful. It was horrendous, and we all pointed it out. Every gaming website was laughing at it. We still do. They put some modulation over it. They made him sound like a robot. They got rid of the really bad lines. They fixed it, but they did it.
Some of our favorite lines.
But they did it at launch. They didn't say, "Yay, we're fixing this. Here's a big video showing us, how we're fixing it." It's like, nope, just fix it, get it out there, get it done. I
And
don't
they
think
did
they're gonna do
communicate,
anything.
yeah. But didn't he also have like a T-shirt making fun of themselves too?
Yes.
They might.
The Wizards on the Moon
Yeah,
T-shirt.
that-
But like
Wizard on the Moon.
the staff being self-aware versus them actually publicly addressing it, completely different thing.
Yeah.
Hoodie draped over the back of the couch. What do you think? No.
Are you making fun of how we got our shots lined up?
He's got
I was
he's got
just
way more
noticing
presence
that
than Blair.
myself.
He's,
Yeah.
he's
Oh, I actually am on
upstaging
camera.
you at
Hi.
this point, Blair.
That's a
Yeah,
good
wow,
one.
tangent. Boy, did that just trumped any conversations we were having
It
about
was
the
worth talking
Xbox
about.
right
Yeah,
now.
sorry, back to
that's what we
Gamescom.
want. Yeah.
Which I am putting all of my chips on the fact that Dinklage was out. He's just like, I'm not doing this anymore. Sorry.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh.
I don't think it was Bungie like, hey, we have
why
a
on
problem.
earth would you call attention? Like, there's so many possible negative things you could say about Destiny.
Yeah.
There's so many weird, directions you could steer that conversation. It's like, why are you reminding us of this thing that we've kind of gotten over? I guess. I mean, I certainly got over it after a while.
Yeah, it's weird. Like Game of Thrones actors like have to start thinking about life after Game of Thrones, and like Pixels just bombed, and he's just like, you know what? I got to start salvaging this now because I don't have Game of Thrones forever.
There's so many actors being retconned today.
Yeah.
So we talked about FIFA. Halo 5. We got our multiplayer trailer, and then we got an esports arena presentation.
Yeah, which I honestly, again, I think it really, if you're going to show multiplayer, like this is the way to do it. Like actually show a match.
Yeah.
Because if you just show random shots of guys getting headshots and this thing around the corner, I mean, it can be cool if you're showing off, a feature that you haven't seen for the first time, like when they first showed the jetpacks and all of that in Halo 5. But yeah, at this point, it's like, yeah, I don't just want to see some more random stuff on a map. I want to see how the game plays out, and from people that know how to play the game. Which these guys, they play the game like normal people definitely never would.
Yeah.
And it's something that fascinates me about, it's like, I am the head of Xbox, and I'm a little bit uncomfortable being on stage right now. And it's like, I am the head of 343, and let's hope I can get through this presentation here. And then these like esports guys that like, a lot of people in the audience probably don't know come out and they're like, what do you want me to read? Crime and Punishment? Let's do this.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
care.
yeah,
It doesn't
yeah.
matter what you throw at me right now. Let's do this.
Yeah.
You get Sean Ashmore on
It was
stage.
the
and he's
best
like,
of times. It was
hi,
the worst
everyone.
of
I am the
times."
new actor in this game, And you get these other guys like, yes, finally. Like, these are the guys. These guys, they said more in that small amount of time. That the pace during that arena demo was just, you can't top that, man. And yeah, it was written. Yeah, they knew that what was going to happen. Obviously, you want to have it beforehand so you can focus on the biggest moments, because you don't want to like have a tie or something like it live.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
They played 4 matches, and then the Americans lost in the 4th one, and they're like, oh, that one, that's the one we're going to use.
exactly. That's the thing. I felt
Yeah, it could have been highly edited. You're right.
like they definitely wanted Europe to come out on top since
Yeah.
they're in Europe.
My criticism, maybe because I'm just not keeping up on Five Guardians, apologies, and I missed like some awesome arena trailer where they detailed everything. Would have liked a little more focus on what arena is, like how
Sure.
that works.
Oh, I think it's normal, like the classic multiplayer stuff.
Yeah, but they talked specifically
I mean,
about
they
this
came
is
out and said
esports
Warzone
ready.
and
Yeah.
Arena.
Yeah.
Like, these are the 2 things you should be excited about for multiplayer.
Yeah.
I know what Warzone is. I played that at E3, and that was rad. That was really, really great. Like, reinvigorated my excitement of Halo multiplayer. Can't wait to get my friends together and like all be on one team and like take on another team. But
yeah, I think-
Arena's kind of like, it seems like you're telling me I shouldn't play this. Like this is for pros. Like
No,
don't
I
spend your
think
time
I
on
think this is Slayer and Oddball and all that classic stuff. I think that's what they mean by Arena. Of course,
You think? I think this is what they're doing is not a good attitude.
Well,
to
we were
have after a
talking
press
over them
conference,
as
like,
well.
and I'm talking over you. But yeah, definitely a great esports vibe. Are we ever going to get a live something? If we get something like this at Sony, or we get something like this at PSX, or we get something like this at TGS, are they ever actually going to do it on stage? Or is this just going to be like, we did this last week?
No, yeah, that will never be live on stage.
It's like the Tech Awards, the Academy Awards. It's like 2 weeks ago, we gave out all of these Academy Awards to the lighting designers, and here's them coming up on stage.
And,
Okay,
like,
now back to the important stuff.
Especially like your online is not ready until that's until the the day it launches, and sometimes not even then. And so like yeah, what's crazy about me that this is esports oriented is that there's no LAN play for this game. Like you need to be online, and like Master Chief Collection is proving that to be a bad idea. And like to me, like it's okay. Hey, if you don't want to focus on esports, then yeah, you can do whatever you want. But if you want to be an esports game, it's crazy to me that you don't have LAN. Like, that's insane. It's why it's weird that there's like two messages here. And also, like, Halo doesn't do that well in the esports world. You know, the world finals, I guess it wasn't world championships, the finals of the Master Chief Collection series was doing like 20K on Twitch, which is, you know, good, but like nothing compared to other comparable games. So, you know, it's not doing great. And clearly they're putting a push behind it, but weird that they didn't get that first thing first.
One of the things I really like about the arena run is, you know, typically when it's like this right here, we're watching multiplayer, you know, guys just, you know, kicking butt at multiplayer. But at the same time, the way I imagine that stuff like this is put together is there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of matches that they basically record the whole thing. And then maybe like when they're done with the match, they've just played live. It's like, yeah, that grenade toss, that was sweet. Let's make a note for that.
Sure.
That one moment was cool. Okay. And then the guy goes back through, you know, Forge style and can move the camera wherever he wants and is like, okay, let me like recapture this one moment. So like, you know, you're slowly making this trailer, and then it's up to the editor to like finesse it and make sure it sounds good and everything. Whereas that match, so when I see a headshot in that mode, it's like, okay, I mean, that was from 500 matches you played. So, of course, it's like you put a bunch of apes in a room and eventually, with typewriters, and eventually one of them was going to write Hamlet. It's like, of course, you're just going to get that move. Whereas you specifically identified, like, this was a match. These are like two teams that have never played each other before. So when you have that guy leaping in the air and headshots two guys with a pistol, it's like, what? It just carries a little more weight. I felt myself getting a little more excited about those moves and actually realizing, like, I am enjoying watching these guys play. Like, this is a great sell, specifically for multiplayer. So, and interesting having the announcer guys come out. Esports guys don't really see that at press conferences. I wonder if like the next level is actually bringing those players out, you know, like bringing like the head of the team that won and having him be like, yeah, we know what I really like about what we, you know, this match that we had. Just one little thing, you know, just to have his spot, just to have him backing it too.
At this
I'm not saying it's better. I just wonder if that's the next level. I wonder if that's
Yeah.
where you can actually like go further into the esports realm.
I want to be respectful, but I don't want to hear from them in a press conference.
Sure.
I don't
Right.
do it, dude. You're good at Halo. That's all right.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen and heard so much about Halo 5 multiplayer. I think this is the most focus we've ever gotten on multiplayer before we know anything about the story beyond us having read novels or really seen all the clues coming from Halo 4. Or, you know, like following, you know, 343's blog, like day by day by day.
Yeah, man. I guess like you ask what the hook is, and it's like
The hook's multiplayer at this point. I mean, that's what I'm really excited about.
Right.
The hook for me is, which again was why I want to know more about Arena. The hook for me is Warzone. Warzone's so great. Mm-hmm. And just the accessibility, just how quickly you're like, oh, I didn't like that last round. I want a rocket launcher now. Got it. Let's go. You know, I don't have to like run to that point where it is on the map. I just go to the station, I grab my gun, and I go. I grab my mech, I grab my vehicle.
I don't see. Like Halo up to this point has clear hooks. Halo 2, it's like, okay, we're fighting on Earth. Here we go.
Yeah.
Halo 3, finish the fight. Halo 4, whole new world, whole new enemies. And then Halo 5, it's like, hey, we got two guys. We got two guys now.
Lock.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't
there
think
the
that's
whole
a hook.
time. Totally.
Yeah. I don't know if that's like a
Well, the
clear
hook is kind of that, like, yeah, you know, Master Chief has, you know, kind of been misunderstood and blacklisted. I mean, that's kind of the idea. Then, you know, I mean,
What evidence have you seen that in the trailers?
Oh, we're
I
talking
mean, that was the whole thing. The TV campaign.
The traitor bullet going into his helmet.
The
and then
TV campaign
two
was all about
split,
that.
The split spots of Locke being like, "I'm saving the universe from you."
Right. It was a monologue. That's like
Right.
that's how that was communicated. Is like there's a statue and a monologue.
Speaking of hooks,
Okay.
Just Cause 3.
Great transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I needed this gameplay trailer. The first gameplay trailer they released was a little brief.
Brandon, when they brought that here to this stage for E3, and they showed me the gliding. They showed me like just gliding like you're flying, and I just said like, why was this not in your trailer? Like that is the thing to show of this game, and they show so much of it in this trailer. It's so good. That is the appealing thing.
Yeah, because they did the kind of with the parachutes before, right? But the wingsuit makes it really different.
Yeah.
Oh, headshot in the parachute guy.
Yeah, knocking him out of the
That wouldn't make a lot of sense, but still looks fun.
wouldn't make a lot of sense.
It's the
Get out of this
trailer
room.
Yeah.
I'm repeating myself. I said this like during the press conference, but this is what Crackdown should have been. They should have just had this. Who cares specifically how the game looks or how far it is along in progress? Look at all the crazy stuff you can do.
Yeah.
Do you think it just wasn't that far along, and that's the problem?
This game is far along. I'll give it
one
that.
is.
Yeah, I mean, they came out and demoed this game with the confidence I didn't see anyone else have at Judges Week. Anyone. maybe Disney Infinity. I saw come out
Because
and
they
be
just
like,
they let you
boom,
go wild,
drop
right?
the mic. The guy, he's even like flippant about it. He was like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just Cause 3. Let's
Yeah.
just run around. Yeah, some stuff might work. Who cares? Just look at this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
He's going back to his homeland. There's a dictator there. Done. Let's blow some helicopters. You do not need to know anything else. Which again, Crackdown. There's this intricate web of conspiracy and all of these criminal organizations, and it's like, get back to that transforming car. What are you talking about? Show me craziness. Show me someone having fun with this game.
Yeah.
And the guy who was demoing this was having fun. When everyone else, when they were done, when they were shutting down all the stations, and I've said this before live, but and everyone was, okay, I've played all my Square Enix games at this pre-Gamescom event or this pre-E3 event. Let me just get a Corona and chat with my editorial buddies. The guy was on the couch playing Just Cause 3 in the corner of the room with no one around him.
Yeah.
He was just I love, maybe he's an introvert. I don't know, but
he's probably an
he was
introvert.
this is my job and I love it.
Yeah.
I love getting better at this game. I love looking at things and wondering, what can I do with that?
The transition to flight. That's
And
so
one thing
cool.
they really don't play up in Just Cause 3, which to me, playing as much of Just Cause 2 as I did, that is such a game changer, is I'll see if I can point out the shot where he does it. But he grapples a helicopter and then grapples the ground and then pulls the wires in, which you can do. And so he pulls the helicopter towards the ground. So you see this helicopter being yanked and just kind of spinning around him.
Great trailer.
Yeah, awesome.
And kind of just showing the bad guy in the beginning, just to be kind of like a cartoonish,
December 1st.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
That's so soon.
Oh, I can't wait. Okay. Yeah, there's Just Cause 3. Make no bones about that. Forza Motorsport 6, State of Bloodworth, go! Impressions, go!
Yeah, I mean, they brought out some race car drivers to kind of sell the authenticity of it, but I feel like they kind of reiterated largely what they said to us behind closed doors. I didn't feel like there was anything particularly new shown off at all in there.
The rain is what they were selling really hard.
Yeah, they're selling rain and night very hard, and
I've heard you say some good things about weather effects in other games, that was a big deal. Can't remember what game came out recently that had night
It's Drive Club
races
you were
and-
talking about that stuff.
Drive Club had some good stuff.
I think it was
then,
the Forza Horizon 2 had the day-night thing where you could speed up the passage of time. So you could start a race at sunrise and end at sunset.
No, that's Drive Club.
That's Drive Club?
Yeah.
So that stuff can go a long way. And so I think it's good to specifically focus on the tech. Again, the tech, such a big play. It's here's the Square Enix demo running on the Xbox One. Here's this, here's
Yeah.
Forza
And they
running
went
at
in-
60 frames per second. We got these weather effects. It's all running smoothly.
It is interesting to see what type of games get promoted to which types of ways. You never see getting experience points in a Forza demo video.
Yeah, they really talked up the surfaces and stuff. But again, like I said, that was all behind closed doors. So it's just a more, I feel like it's just a more polished and focused way of presenting that to the viewers. But then you see a third person shot. Probably not driving that way. But yeah, it looks good. I'm curious to see it.
Did you get more excited from seeing it
on this?
Yeah. I mean, it had to be here. If it wasn't here, we'd all be like, wait, where was Forza? What happened?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't feel like they really showed off anything that was particularly new or exciting. They just kind of, had the time to get a race car driver in there and to give his pitch on it. But I don't know how much that I really, I don't know how much to me, that he sells his authority.
Not at all. Not at all.
Because it's well,
He won a race.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
okay.
there he is.
you drive a car, that's good, and you've been in your professional simulators, that's
Right.
good. Has he played Project Cars? Has he played the
Yeah,
F1
how much
games?
are you really tracking Forza? It's
How
just
Oh, I
much
see what you're
does he
saying.
know to compare it to? Yeah.
Yeah.
how critical is any baseball player really going to be of MLB The Show?
No, you're right. You see interviews like that all the time. The graphics are amazing. I can't believe what we're capable of right now. It's just
Right.
this is the one game you saw this year. It is funny. The game should just be called Forza Rain. Why is this Forza 6? What else makes this a sequel? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they talked up about having all their cars at 450 cars that are at that level of detail.
Oh, yeah,
and all
yeah.
that
And
kind of
more
thing
than
as
any
well.
other game right now. That's an important thing to say,
and they
too.
have that.
Yeah.
You can go into the car like you did before, and they only had that for a handful, right?
Yeah, that's one of the things. It's they have that for all the cars now.
Before we move on to a new map for Rainbow Six Siege, which was fun, we mentioned before, no new Battletoads, sorry, Kyle. The Elite Series 2016, this was trademarked today, right? Or
Yeah,
recently?
yeah. So I wonder what
And
happens if we Google that.
Well, they could still make that announcement at Gamescom.
Sure.
Like, that doesn't necessarily have to be a press briefing announcement.
They have those daily streams at the end of every day of the show as well.
So yeah, it could be something they roll out later, and just kind of like, it's smart to wait, like right until, because people check those trademarks and copyright stuff. What are you looking up?
Microsoft registers domain for Xbox Elite Series 2016. I was just checking to see if anything's happened with it. Yeah, all I have is headlines of the registration, but nothing about explaining what that is.
Rock Band 4 Elite controller exclusive.
Exclusively expensive.
All the buttons are on the back.
Yeah. Weird.
So yeah, we got this new map from Rainbow Six Siege. If my eyes do not deceive me, I haven't seen that. Yeah, the dock map.
Yep, and the Polizei. They
They played up it with the German patches on them.
Keep going. I don't.
So the deal
Because
is
they're in Germany, they played up.
Right, I just
a
don't know what German patches
faction
are.
or whatever.
Oh, it's a flag. It was the flag.
It was the German flag on
So
it.
like
Okay.
a cool thing about Rainbow Six Siege is that like you can pick from like each country's like top tier military squad.
Oh, okay. Medal of Honor did that.
Yeah.
A couple years ago. That
Yeah,
was like
yeah,
a big
yeah.
deal.
Very
Pick
similar
your
to that.
country and go in. That worked out really good for them. No, not so much.
That wasn't that game's problem though. That was a cool idea for that game.
But do you pick the? Because I mean, it seems like this location is also in Germany as well, right? So, do you actually pick them, or does it just come with the map?
Ooh, I wonder that. That might be the case. Is that just depends on which map you are.
I think this is a perfect amount of time to spend on this announcement. I like that nobody came out. Rainbow Six Siege is a tactical
Oh yeah.
4-on-4 multiplayer shooter with just unique destructible environments and a tense, play between the two parties. Who will dominate and who, just boom right into it. Just like, hey, all we're showing is map today. We know, So, but it's cool, and we're saving it for now. We do have an announcement to make. Ian, where?
That deployable little bundle of barbed wire fence is really funny to me, because he just like goes, pop. Oops, I cut away from myself. He just goes pot, and then it goes, point.
Yep.
The spring.
You'll
Yeah,
see it
it's
in
still
a
a
second.
multiplayer video game.
It's
at least.
really fun. I think
Yeah.
it's funny. I like it.
And when you walk, it just slows you down. You're like,
You're like,
barbed wire.
Oh, so it doesn't do damage.
Difficult
It might do
terrain,
damage. I don't
half
know. I think that's like the main
movement
thing.
speed. I'll point it out.
I thought this was again just the perfect pace, the perfect place in the show right before the end, right before the last gameplay that they're going to show for Rise of the Tomb Raider. Very stealth, very calm
The last.
setup. Yeah, the last gameplay that they showed, Halo
okay.
Wars 2 was
Yeah.
the last announcement they made, but the last actual gameplay.
Yeah, very different from what we saw at E3, which was scaling the mountain and mostly platforming. I don't think we shot anybody at E3.
Looks good. I was waiting. So, like, one of the big things that they played up and kept showing over and over and over again was the falling out of the plane, grabs a parachute, then goes flying through the trees sequence. And I thought we'd get something like that. I thought we'd get
Uncharted-esque, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. Where
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
like sliding down the hill and the planes, propellers like flying around her, like very slow, you're like really listening to what the guys were saying. It looks great.
That,
like I'm not.
that stealth kill from underwater was pretty good.
Yeah, I think it was just it was one of those times where you look at a game and it just kind of reaffirms it, but doesn't necessarily like take my anticipation to the next level. My anticipation is high because Tomb Raider was awesome, and cannot wait to play Rise.
Yeah.
I like every time I look at Definitive Edition, I'm like, maybe I can't. No, I'm good. But I'm tempted because like the game's just right up my alley. I love it. But to me, I really need to know what she's doing because like her being stranded on the first island was like that was the beginning of why I loved building her up and having her be stronger and the whole thing where it's like discover the hero. It's like I did. That's what she did. She discovered the hero inside of her, and then taking that hero-ness went on to this adventure. What is that? Why is she here? Like they kind of just, I don't even remember the name of the country she was in or the artifact she was going after. They just kind of like they lower thirded it like right at the beginning of the announcement.
Right.
So I just a little more emphasis put on that. Maybe her talking to one other person or just some kind of setup. I mean, we saw the guy when she was climbing that we know from the first game that comes back.
I'm kind of okay with it. Uncharted does this a lot. Just shows you a scene and in the case of Uncharted, sometimes they show those scenes without any idea themselves of where it's going to fit in the story.
But the last one fit great because he introduced, like, oh, here's that pirate island. This is where we're going. And you're like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
An island where all the pirates partied? That's great. It's like, whereas this one, it's like, forest. You're like,
Yeah.
Okay. Like they have backpacks now. And it's like, it looks great. Like it's really, really cool. I just need that. Just something else.
I'm in though.
Some
I
other,
like what they showed
story
of
bit.
it. I like not just a sneaking around, but like showing the base in the far off distance, and like we're gonna get to that base. You have lots of options on how to get there. That's my favorite kind of thing. I love that.
Yeah, really good to start Horizon, the same thing. Like start to, smart to begin with like walking out to a cliff and seeing, this big area and like,
Yeah.
okay, let's get into it. So you can kind of like, get the chance to look back at where you started and realize like, oh, all that happened in this one, unique space. But still way down. Is that 2015? Is that? Yeah, we're getting it this year and then
Yeah.
PC and PS4 again next
November.
Right.
year. I think 4 or 5 months are gonna be sweet, guys.
Oh, there's some sweet ones ahead.
And Halo Wars 2, wrapping everything up.
Huge announcement. That's crazy.
Yeah, interesting announcement. What's the main reason we're getting another Halo Wars 2?
I have no idea.
No, I don't.
What's the
I
main
don't have
thing?
I don't have any clue.
Is it because
it can be on Windows?
Yeah, I mean, really playing like what is a
That's-
what is
that
a
seems
unique
to be about
Windows
it.
10 experience that can also be directly connected to the Xbox One? And here's this game that we proved that
And this
an
one,
RTS
this is
does
the one
work
that
on consoles.
they literally kept hidden until the end, right? It's like, okay, this is a cutscene that could be in any Halo game, but
And they didn't really get into specifics. Like they didn't announce
Yeah.
crossplay. You think there's crossplay?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's
Like
that's
online?
sure.
Competitive multiplayer in a real-time strategy game with people on console playing against people on PC. Has that ever happened before? In a real-time strategy game?
No, you're doomed.
How you're doomed. There's
if you got
no
a
way.
controller, you're doomed.
Yeah, it's like imagine you.
Keyboard into the Xbox.
But
Yeah.
they had the keyboard attachment that they showed, right?
But yeah, with a mouse with the.
No, but
It's-
USB, you could plug in a mouse and keyboard.
But you
if
could
really,
connect.
really want to.
You could use your hand
You
and
could
grab over
Bluetooth
here,
it,
right?
too.
It is crazy that Creative Assembly is making it too. I can't believe that.
So remind people who Creative Assembly is.
Total
War.
War and Alien
Total
Isolation.
War. They
I
got
guess.
Warhammer coming up.
Yeah.
They got Total War is quite prolific as of late. Yeah, good for
they're,
them.
they're working on a lot of Total War games. So yeah, good team to find. It just seems rude because they had such a great team for Halo Wars that they are like, hey, your game didn't sell to our expectations. You're gone. And then so they just come in, get Creative Assembly for
How
the
will
sequel.
this sell? Is this going to be a big hit? It's a cool announcement. It's cool if there was an announcement.
I don't know.
Especially a Halo announcement.
I never got into Halo Wars.
I think they're kind of coming into it at the quote unquote right time for real time strategy because Ben and I talk about this a lot. A lot of us do, but what's happened to all the big AAA benchmark RTS games and franchises? StarCraft is wrapping up its story. We have no idea what they're going to do with that IP. Warcraft hasn't been RTS in how long? Don't even want to think about it. Command & Conquer, just don't even bring it up. The list kind of goes on and down from there. I know that there are some out there that are just kind of smaller scale, but like just as good. But you need a big name on some of these things to have a genre really take off. So it's interesting that Halo's kind of swooping in when everybody else has already given up.
My boy Ben's Milky Soup nailed it. HoloLens. HoloLens.
Oh,
HoloLens
Ben's
Halo Wars
Soup.
2.
That's a great theory,
That's great.
Ben.
The whole rollout that they did with HoloLens was all Halo stuff.
Yes.
and Minecraft.
So like but I mean like that was their stage presentation where the behind the scenes stuff at E3 this year for HoloLens was Halo themed.
Yep.
So
Yes. No question now. There's no
Yeah.
doubt in my mind. Well, I don't know. It's next year though.
Yeah, HoloLens will be
I don't
next
think
year.
so. I don't think HoloLens will be doing games next year.
yeah,
At this.
still sweet though.
Yeah.
And honestly, for more than anything, if they had an esports event for Halo Wars and I could spectate that on HoloLens, that'd be so great.
Yes.
If you're just like, and you're watching it with a friend and you can point, look at that guy, look at, rewind that. Like, I'm pumped. I'm pumped for HoloLens. HoloLens is really exciting. I am bummed. I missed out. Out of everything I missed at E3 this year, I'm super bummed I missed that demo.
I think you and I both need to bring our PCs into the room though for us to both do HoloLens together.
We don't know what you have to do for HoloLens.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
You could need what weird tech you got to put up around
Yeah.
your room or whatever to make
They
that
said
work.
the first iteration of HoloLens will not be for like commercial use. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I doubt they're going to be. They said this game will be fall 2016.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure it'll be ready
It
in
is.
time. Maybe. That'd be cool.
So there it is. That is it's a big list.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Some other stuff has happened if you guys are curious.
Oh my.
Oh yeah,
bring
hit
it
us
in.
with the
So,
news, Matt Blair.
Because we are wrapping up our coverage for today. We'll be
Yeah.
back at 9 a.m. tomorrow to talk about EA, to set up for the Call of Duty esports event and to talk about we're getting a Final Fantasy 15 trailer tonight.
Yeah.
We're getting a Metal Gear trailer this week.
We'll probably have Mafia too.
Yeah, I don't even know if the doors open. When are the doors open of actually
No.
the show?
So this is basically getting to evening right now in Germany.
Okay.
EA will kick it off at 10 in the morning, which will be 1 in the morning here.
Yep.
And then that'll be press day, Wednesday.
Okay.
And then the doors open for the public on Thursday.
Cool.
Got it. Mr. Blair, what's the haps?
So at the top of the show, you guys mentioned that you wanted to see the Mad Max trailer that was released today. I have it if you would like to spectate.
Let's do it.
Oh, sure.
Ian, can we get audio
blood
on
and
this?
gore in this. Just so you
Look
know.
behind you at dune after dune of drifting, half-forgotten terrors. You flee them. These past phantoms and the madness that crawls inside. Griffer can help you venture down to where you daren't go yourself and lay bare your true promise.
Translation: he'll level you up.
You
the guy you
have
just goes
grown
for.
into
Oh, okay,
a
that's right.
violent
I
thing.
love that he said Darren.
A man of solitude drifting across these sands, fearing those who make you feel human. You know nothing of me. I know what you seek, and I know where you can find it.
I like the quick shots by him
There's
narrating.
something brewing out there. War boys from Gastown are tightening the noose fierce like.
That's how they mentioned the movie, right?
People
Oh, another
in my
Fury
way.
Road call out the
People
Yeah, the
the
Fire
smoke.
Boys.
can
Yeah,
show you the light, help you survive.
Those are all Fury Road.
People can bring you the solace you so desperately desire.
War boys have been sighted, prepping most likely for an assault on our beloved ship.
We just got a side quest there.
You wish to know more about yourself? More about the man you've become? But this is a very different world, my friend.
You tell me, son.
Tell you what?
Tell me why I shouldn't land a slug right between your eyes.
If you hope to survive, navigate the flood, escape the past that forever haunts you, then open your eyes.
In the darkest hour, the believer standing upon the sacred sand will behold the true light.
I'm looking hard. There's nothing. Look again. It's right there in front of you.
We knew that.
We knew that already.
Negative 0.5 points. Interesting that they're willing to say now at this point, available digitally and in stores on this date.
Yeah.
I think they love digital sales.
Of course they do.
Dang,
Yeah.
I don't know about that trailer. I honestly, I feel like I've seen all I want to see of
Yeah,
that game.
yeah, I'm good.
Where you at, Blood?
I think, I'm glad in a way that they focused a little bit more on like story setup, because I feel like the past couple of things that we've seen have been very mechanically focused. Like, okay, this is how the game world works, and here's how you upgrade your car, and all of the systems that go into the game. Whereas this gives you a little bit more purpose. I'm worried that it might be a little bit too talky and introspective.
Sure, I get that. I absolutely get that.
Wait, I don't need Mad Max to like find himself, really.
It is a fine line. It's like, do you just make an awesome Mad Max experience and just kind of set him as a protagonist? You're like, don't really worry about this guy, or do you? Like, was Fury Road great because we learned so many awesome things about Max, or was it just awesome? You know,
You're right.
and
Yeah.
Max
so-
should never speak. He's like
Right.
a force of nature. He has 16 lines in The Road Warrior.
But I mean, at the same time, it's like the game's called Mad Max. You're finally making this, big blowout Mad Max game. Like, would this be the time to maybe like say some things about his character, or?
What I was wondering was maybe because they show him like right here. Sorry, I was on me. But he's with that little girl, and there's a little girl in the beginning of Fury, or that he flashes to in Fury Road all the
Yeah.
time, that isn't really specifically from anything.
Yeah, I think it was like a weird feral kid call
Yeah,
out,
but
who
except
knows?
changed. Yeah, so it's like weird. I'm like, wait, maybe this game is before Fury Road somehow. Like, I don't know.
Because the kid in Road Warrior was like a kid, like she was holding her in her arms, and then in Fury Road, when they had a quick flashback, they were running together hand in hand.
Well,
so the kid was like a
the
little bit
feral
older.
kid is male in.
Right. No, I'm talking about
Road
his
Warrior.
daughter, his child.
That's also male.
Oh, he's a
in
son.
Mad Max, yeah.
But who knows,
I
man?
mean, George Miller has stated that like all the Mad Max things don't have a. There's no real chronology. They just are. They're all just adventures.
Which
in
is
the
bizarre
life
because
of
they
Mad
clearly
Max.
do.
The first two do for sure.
Well, Thunderdome, he bumps into the Gyro Captain. He's like,
That's-
you. So he knows who that is.
It's weird because I watched it recently, and he's dressed differently, and he flies
Gyro
a
Captain?
plane. Yeah, he flies a plane. It's like, it's weird because you're not sure if it's the same dude.
I get a strong vibe. It's the same.
It
You
was
can
weird.
see it in Mel Gibson's face when
Right.
he walks in that room. He's like, hey.
But then they like,
And it's just like, you know.
they like never really acknowledge it. It's very
You
strange.
know I'm going to tell you to do something, and you know you're going to do it.
I
'Cause
kind
you
of
know what I'm capable of.
I like having a loose continuity when you're
it
open
works.
to it. When you're just like, yeah, look, there's no continuity. Then you're completely allowed to have a loose continuity.
And this game can have any kind of continuity it wants because
Yeah.
there's never been a Mad Max game. So
Yeah, get
it's,
loose.
It's really up to them. But yeah, I can't. There was another game that we saw. Probably Battlefront. It's like, yeah, I can see more Battlefront trailers, but like, I'm sold. I'm down. Let's do it. Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
probably where I'm at with this game. I can't remember what it was. Oh, it wasn't a game. It was Spectre, the 007 trailer that came out. We're like, okay, we're good. We'll see
Good.
it. We're
Good
fine.
on Spectre. I'm in.
Like, there's nothing you can do with the trailer that's gonna make me more excited. And
I think Battlefront still has some room, just in terms of environments. Like I think people
and
want,
modes. That's actually another thing we could
people
talk
want
about.
to
We got
see
a
more
teaser for Fighter Squadron, which is going to be the ship battle mode in Battlefront. Whatever that, if that's added DLC, if that's just something else they
At
haven't
launch.
announced yet, who knows?
Sure.
So we're going to get that trailer later this week.
Because we've
yeah,
seen
we-
like 4 environments for Battlefront.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
The desert, the Hoth, the lava planet, which is apparently like a new planet.
Oh, I haven't seen the Lava Planet.
Just we've seen it real quick.
Yeah,
Okay.
At the end of that awesome Battlefront trailer, where the Falcon comes flying.
Oh yeah,
in.
yeah. But we haven't seen gameplay on there.
And then the
not,
forest,
not
yeah.
like live or not like some HUD up, somebody
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
like playing the game. So yeah, launch trailer for Mad Max, and then that's it. Don't stop it with the.
Yeah.
Didn't necessarily need
Yeah.
to get like an update on that game this week.
Oh man, it's so hosed
maybe
up
in-
against Metal
yeah.
Gear Solid. Poor guy.
Infinity 3.0.
Yeah, that was a
come on.
bad. That was a bad call.
Forget about it.
Yeah, that's sent out to die. That poor game.
Well,
That'll be like $15.
I'm gonna be playing Mad Max instead of Metal Gear that week. So
Okay.
that's where I'm coming
They
from.
got one guy.
They got me. Anything else, Mr. Blair? Any other big headlines coming in?
Not really. Xbox pulled a fast one on us and uploaded a new Doom trailer. Turns out it's not a new one.
Okay.
So that's the same old gameplay trailer.
Okay.
It's still exciting, possibly for some people, but it's not new, so we won't bother with that one.
Doom, not a
And-
game I was really expecting to get an update on this week. So
Yeah.
just get it up there in the
So
headlines.
no big surprises there. And yeah, I think that about wraps it up for the Xbox stuff.
Any other non-Xbox stuff that popped in? No.
A Rock Band 4 trailer, a little bit of gameplay. Not
Yeah.
that spectacular.
That's
not
okay.
that spectacular.
It's okay.
I was hoping that Doom thing would turn out, but it didn't. So
People talking about Sony a little bit. Just kind of like, so Sony's not there. I mean, they got PSX, right? So they're
Yeah. Well, they've also talked a bit about
Paris Games
TGS, right?
Which
and
Sony?
Paris. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're going heavy on Paris Games Week.
When is
said-
Paris Games Week?
I think it's near the end of August or September. I'll look that up. I was looking for headlines.
When are those press conferences?
I don't know that they're
What time of
doing-
day?
But I don't know. Are they actually doing a press conference?
Yes.
Okay.
They said we're not going to Gamescom because we're doing a press conference at Paris Games Week. Oh my gosh, it's in October.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, no Record, but we talked about that. No Sea of Thieves. No Gears. Not even mentioned. No
It was
Gears
on
at
the
all.
screen, but yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I was actually a little bit surprised that they didn't say anything about the
Future Gears?
Not the new one, but the remaster.
Of Gears 1, yeah.
Like you would have thought they would have thrown that in.
Oh,
there
Because they
first.
made an announcement that like you get, you unlock the ability to use, if you have the discs, you unlock the ability to backwards compatibility upload Gears 2 and Gears 3 when you get Definitive Edition.
Wait,
or
you
Ultimate
need
Edition or
definitive
something.
edition? I thought they were just announcing, hey, all these games are being back.
It seemed weird the way they described it. It was
Okay.
like once you get that, now you can do this, but you
weird.
can't without it or something, or like.
That wouldn't be right.
Yeah, well, some of those others, like they had that, like at the end, like includes these, Rainbow Six includes Vegas and Vegas 2.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely like when I got Bayonetta 1 for free, when I got Bayonetta 2 on Wii U, I didn't go play through Bayonetta 1. It's like I just got the sequel. Thank you for the like free game, I guess. But like to me, that's such a strange thing, right? Like packed in with the game, I guess.
But yeah, but I mean, this is its own game. It's not like you get Gears 4 and you get these 3 things. It's like you're already in the market to replay the franchise. Basically.
Sure.
So they're like, yeah, do it.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
It's not like you play 3 and then go back and play 1 and 2. You're playing 1, so it's just like once you finish 1, like I want to play 2 now.
It's a huge
That
value.
makes sense.
It's incredible value. I should say that. Yeah, it's huge.
I am actually a bit surprised that with them starting off with Rare Replay that they didn't do anything for Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, maybe it's just not.
I think it's far away.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's far away.
Yeah.
But it just seems weird. It's like, all right, we're going to throw the Battletoads into Killer Instinct, and goodbye, Rare. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye, Rare. And goodbye, everybody. And I think it's a good time to wrap things up. We are pushing an hour and a half folling the press conference.
We should
talking
do
about all stuff
highlights and
Gamescom.
lowlights then, real quick. What's your highlight?
My highlight. See, that's the thing. It's like there are a lot of things were like affirmed for me. It's like, yeah, Just Cause 3 looks great. Rainbow Six, new stage, cool. Rise of Tomb Raider looks good. Like nothing was like, hold the phone. I'm Scalebound, probably.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
Scalebound.
Scalebound.
As far as like,
for
oh
me.
man, did you see that?
And also, there's a Battletoad and Killer Instinct available today. That's incredible. That's so weird.
We'll see how long that lasts. And for all of my griping, Quantum Break looks great. I mean they're definitely. It's you say like time manipulation in a third-person shooter, like okay, but like I've never seen that stuff before. That just visually looks really cool. I think my main concern for Quantum Break now is just like how planned are these moments. Do I really have freedom to just kind of like wait till I see what I do with these powers, or is it just like that truck comes in that way every time, so there's not a lot of replay value? Kind of curious to see what if you have any choice, or you can steer that story in the direction that you want. Anything else? Homefront? Yeah.
Homefront.
I mean, the trailer was cool,
Great
but
trailer,
didn't see any new gameplay or anything.
I'm looking for lowlights. I don't know, man. Maybe FIFA.
Yeah, but that's not FIFA's. I mean, what's FIFA gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they're
Thimbleweed was definitely a low light.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I feel like their kind of their indie show was not that strong.
Sure.
Cobalt was a low light because they didn't really set up what it was. It's like this is something we've been working on. Like, oh, neat. And then Ian's like, oh no, we've seen this. And it's like, well, that's not the way they described it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can see it. You can kind of see like the low point of the show. But I think they paced everything
Dark
out
Souls
really
3
well.
is nice.
Yeah, Dark Souls 3 was. It's so funny. It's like, it's like the Killer Instinct announcement, like, and like Bloodstain, like, oh, okay, and like Worms, like, and like Thimbleweed, like, oh, and then Ark, oh,
yeah,
Happy Few, like Cobalt, like, oh, Dark Souls, and then Dark Souls 3 kind of like picks up the rest of the show, like Homefront, Halo, Just Cause. Nothing but gravy for the end there. So a satisfying press conference.
I'd say
maybe
better
nothing
than
that
E3.
just completely knocked me over. Maybe like 0.1.
Okay.
I think it's on par. Which is to say they did a good job at E3.
Yeah.
They didn't. Nothing upset me. It's just like Sony, man. They did such a good job that don't even need to go to Gamescom. We kicked that much butt. There's still so much stuff to do. So we're going to be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. We're going to be, again, talking about the EA stuff that happened tonight. We'll, of course, probably open in our pre-show with the Final Fantasy 15 trailer, which we're going to get tonight. So we're definitely going to want to talk about that, plus any other announcements that happen on this day before Gamescom.
Think there'll be a release date on that 15 trailer?
I don't know. Again with the release dates.
March.
Yeah, that dog, but a release date.
Yeah.
A release date.
I think it's going to have a release date.
So we'll be talking about
March.
that tomorrow at 9. We have a special 2-hour version of GT Live tomorrow starting at 6 p.m. with guests that I'm really excited about. The guys who produced the Honest Game Trailers. Honest Trailers was created by Andy Signor, who does the Honest Trailers, but the Honest Game Trailers are produced and sometimes written by a guy named Matt Robb, who manages the Smosh Games team and manages a bunch of other stuff here at Defy Media, and is somebody we work with every day. Really nice guy, really funny, great opinions on games, and really excited to finally get him on and talk about all these trailers. Like we'll have the Honest Game Trailers guys in to talk about it's one of my favorite shows on YouTube, and talk about what goes into writing that. And I think it's a perfect time, like an event like this, to talk about like what do you think of the Homefront trailer? Like they might rip that apart. Look at this stupid kid. You never know.
Yeah, but like jokes off, I'm still curious what they think of it too. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
Exactly.
We might do some trailer scores tomorrow night. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how the show goes, and then we're gonna wrap things up finally on Thursday. I'm not sure exactly what time. Do you have the time?
We're doing 9 a.m.
We're
for
going live.
Blizzard.
We're back 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Thursday for Blizzard. We will have Ben Moore and Mike Huber and Brad Ellis here to squee about all of the announcements coming from Blizzard.
Yeah.
Which, man, the way that they're rocking these days, who knows what the heck we're gonna get? What franchise they're gonna focus on?
Actually,
could
you
be
know what?
anything. Diablo 4. Who knows?
You had a half-hour pre-show, so it's 8:30 a.m. on Thursday.
Okay.
So there's gonna be pre-show and then that weird World of Warcraft
Correct.
expansion.
Well, there's nothing to tomorrow because
Yeah.
you will have already witnessed the EA press conference, but we will be there to talk about it. Hopefully it's good. Excited for Battlefront. What else for EA before we wrap things up? What are we excited about? More
new
FIFA
IP.
news,
New
more
IP.
Legends.
Things weirder than Untangle.
Oh, Unravel?
Unravel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's something going around that they had like 2 other games that they might show off that were
Yeah.
similar to that.
I'm ready for that.
But that Need for Speed, Battlefront for sure. I don't know if they'll really show anything for Mass Effect. I kind of feel like that's still such a far way off. But yeah, Battlefront for sure will be. They'll probably have like a bunch of people on the stage.
I want EA to have something we can download tomorrow.
Yeah.
I want
That'd be
everyone to
cool.
have something to download.
Yeah.
Swag for the world.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We had a great audience today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Pre-Gamescom. Gamescom officially starts tomorrow, but it's starting now. Let us know what you want us to talk about. We don't want to miss any announcements, so be sure to respond to us on social media and in the comments and everything. We will, of course, put up our post-show as soon as possible so you guys can check it out and catch up on all the news. And really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We will see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Enjoy Gamescom.